pressure looks good.
Doubling up. Roger, roll with Atlantic. Flight downside speed off.
Yikes. You bet. Okay. We don't need any more of these.
All right, folks, you know how these things start. Let us know if you can hear us. We are coming at you live from Boca Chica, Texas. It is potentially hop day for SN5. SN5 is out there sitting. We are understanding that they've started to clear the pad area. We think that it might have gotten pressurized. We saw some dents popping out of it, but the NASA spaceflight team is here standing by to bring you a live view of whatever happens today. So we know we've got that TFR. We know that the hard roadblock is up. We know that hopefully we start to see this tank farm venting, but it is possible all of the ducks are in a row for SpaceX to attempt to make SN5 fly for the first time here. I've got a couple people with me today. Let's see who all we have on the call. NASA spaceflight team. Let's go around the horn. Jack, are you with me?
Oh, I'm with you. I am super excited. I've seen a water tower fly, and now I'm ready to see if a grain silo can, in fact, fly. So let's do this.
It's a grain silo. Nice. Thomas, what are you up to, man? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. What's up, Das? Thomas Burkhardt, writer and reporter for NASASpaceflight, and hopefully the first hop test for a full-scale Starship prototype today could be awesome.
The sultry tones of Thomas Burkhardt there. Thomas, thanks for being with us. We also have on the call, of course, Mary Boca Chica gal. She is out there bringing us this live view. You can see we've got a little bit of elevation here today. We're up high. She is one of the only people that still lives in Boca Chica, and she's got this fantastic bird view for us today, bringing the live stream. Again, up there at the top of the stream, you see Mary Boca Chica gal. It's Mary. She is the camera operator that brings all those awesome pictures to you. The person making the things appear on the screen right now would be Michael Baylor. Michael, are you on with us?
Yes, I am. How's it going, everyone? Hoping for a hop today.
Well, I don't know if anybody can tell, but I'm slightly excited. I'll be one of the hosts here, talking very quickly and trying to explain what's going on. My name's John Galloway. If you watch my Twitch stream, you may know me as Das. But I am excited to start see some venting happening from the tank farm. Who's been paying attention? While I was running around getting all this stuff online, who was watching what was happening on with our live feed here? Who wants to give us a status check on what we're looking at right now? Somebody just take it. Jack, you.
All right. Well, so we saw some vehicles leaving the pad, and we saw the hard roadblock go up. And you can see now the pad is clear, and the vehicle is looks like it's set and ready to go. So we have all the pieces in place and all of the necessary removal of pieces also in the form of spectators that just, they can't be there for safety purposes. So pieces in place, hop is imminent. Hopefully, I mean, that's what we hope. Things could always scrub or abort, or, you never know how these things go, but we're looking good for a hop today as of right now. And if you're just joining us, thank you for joining us. We're super excited to have you watching our feed here. And thanks again, of course, to Mary, who is out there bringing us these awesome views.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very curious. I know that a lot of people have sort of descended on Boca Chica, South Padre Island, the area. I'm hoping that the internet holds up here because I know there's a lot more people over on this side of the island than normal. We saw the sheriffs actually clearing some bystanders away from the road. I think that they were just clearing people away from the area past the hard checkpoint. Can anybody confirm that for me? There were some cars parked up there and the sheriff was sort of shooing people away. Did they send them all the way out of Boca Chica, or did they just send them back behind the roadblock?
Well,
that we don't know, I don't think.
No, they should have been kicked. If they were not local residents, they should have been kicked out several miles, because you're only allowed to be inside the soft checkpoint, as they call it, if you are a local or work for SpaceX. So
that'll be interesting.
They were just random spectators. They should have been moved far away from here.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes if they push them all the way back to the soft checkpoint. Of course, here, Mary actually lives at Boca Chica, one of the very few remaining residents who doesn't work for SpaceX. And she is going to be there with the camera. This camera right now, what did we say it was, Jack? About 1.5 miles away? Just under 1.6?
Somewhere around 1.5, 1.7, in that range, I think is accurate. And either way, it is darn close and just about as close as any human being can get.
Yeah. Let's check the ambient audio real quick and hear the sounds of Boca Chica. Let's see what we get here. Got some ambient bird noises, chirping. All right, good. That means we should be able to hear Raptor whenever it roars. This is not going to be a static fire sort of hop. If this thing hops, the engine is going to be on for a long time. We saw the static fire a couple days ago, right? And when the static fire occurs, it's like with 3 seconds or something. Thomas, do we know how long that was? Like 3 seconds?
I think I saw someone counted it was 4 seconds, but it's somewhere between like 3 to 5 seconds. It depends on what exactly they're doing, but yeah, just a couple seconds.
So how long do you think it'll have to fire if it gets up to 150 meters and comes back down safely? A lot longer than 4 seconds, right?
Yeah, Jack, do you remember how long the Starhopper hop lasted? It was like 40 seconds or something, right?
Bringing up the video now. Stand by.
Jack's will check on that, but
I'm so amped up. I don't know if you can tell.
I mean, let it out. Like my buddy EJ over at Falcon Heavy, I told him like do some push-ups or something. Get this adrenaline out of your system. So if anybody needs to stand up and do some push-ups, you're welcome to. Whatever, just get some motion going there. I see tons of super chats and stuff like that going in. I want to make sure that everybody knows what's happening here today. We will not miss your super chats. We never miss your super chats. But if you're just joining us, welcome. This is the NASA Spaceflight live stream. This is the NASA Spaceflight camera, crewed by Boca Chica gal. She is out there standing by for the hop of SN5. It is our understanding that SpaceX has all of the paperwork needed to try and make this grain silo fly today. The Raptor's installed. They've gone through static fires. They've tanked and detanked it multiple times. The landing pad is clear. The area is clear right now, and we are waiting to see. Of course, there's still a lot of what do we used to say? It's a long way between I love you and I do. And SpaceX is sort of past the I love you stage, but we'll see if we can get a little bit of commitment to a hop here. We don't know what the timing is. We'll see. What time's the window closed? Like the TFR, they have to be done by when?
8 p.m. local time.
8 p.m. local time, and it's currently 5:19 local time. You can see that in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. So they've got 2 hours and 41 minutes. Sometimes we know that they have to sort of finish their test and then detank the rocket before they can reopen the roads. Do we know if the TFR works the same way, or is it just like sliding into home plate? If they put the thing on the ground at 7:59 and then 8 o'clock rolls over, TFR expires, are they cool with that? Do we know?
I would guess that as far as the TFR is concerned, as soon as the vehicle is, well, all right, it depends, because we've seen TFRs issued for like static fires and things too. The altitude for the flight restriction changes based on what they're doing. For the static fire, it's a very much lower altitude that they restrict. For the hop test, they went up several thousands of feet more. So in theory, they do need to have the airspace closed off whenever the vehicle is fueled for a static fire test. But because of the higher altitude, they might be able. There might be a clause, not a clause in there, but like some sort of condition in there where as long as they land, it'll be okay. I'm not exactly sure. They do need restrictions whenever the vehicle is fueled, regardless.
All right, so a little bit of follow-up. I just checked the Remembering Starhopper video, which I've pasted into the chat. Starhopper, it looks like from engine ignition to when it was down, which is tough to say because it was obscured from my vantage point and Mary's vantage point, I think, by a cloud of dust as it landed, but about a minute from ignition to landing. So it's quite a long. I mean, a minute doesn't seem like too much time, but it's quite a long period of time. Oh, sorry, Dots. I should have given you a timestamp there.
No, it's okay. I just brought it up. To show the Remembering Starhopper video. So about a minute, you said?
About a minute long. Let me get to the point. I got an ad as I'm trying to find the exact time in the video.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and just so we know, there is a TFR, like an extended TFR for several days for the ground level testing. So they just have to have.
Okay.
They just have to
3:30.
They just have to have the launch and landing completed by 8 p.m. If they have to extend the road closures, that's not a problem.
Right.
So it's just the hop has to be over by 8 p.m. local time.
Gotcha. So the hop specific TFR only means they have to land by 8 p.m. The road closures, which also end at 8 p.m., are in theory tied to whenever the vehicle is safed and detanked. But it is much easier to extend those than to extend a TFR. So they can kind of work around that.
Yeah, we've been talking about right now Cameron County, which is the home of Boca Chica, Texas, down there on the coast. They are currently under some restrictions for COVID-19, my last information. And so the beach is closed, right? And normally this is the only road that you can use to get to the beach. But since the beach is closed to the public anyways, we're sort of getting the impression that SpaceX has a little bit more leniency with the road closures because they're not denying public access to the beach there. So hopefully between the TFR and the road closures, they are able to get everything going for the hop today. Good night, Irene. Hang on a second. Simon Pilkington. This font is so small and so hard to read. Simon, thank you so much. $159.99 Australian dollars. Am I reading that correctly? I don't.
Yeah. And Robert too.
And
We got
Robert,
another 100.
Oh yeah, we have another $100 one as well.
God, Robert Hobson in there as well. Look at that. Simon, thank you so much for the support. $159.99 Australian dollars. And then also, Robert, thank you for the $99.99. That is a ridiculous amount of support. That is, yeah, holy moly is right. God.
That's not the
Both of
first time
those.
Bob Hobb has done that either. Thank you, Bob Hobb. We really appreciate you. That's why you get
Yeah.
that cool nickname.
Michael, can you put that one back on the screen? I misclicked there. Can you put the 99 one back up for me?
Oh,
Is
yeah,
that
give me
a
second.
possibility? Yeah,
It is
sorry
a
about that.
possibility.
Yeah.
I just
Again,
have to plug. Go ahead.
Again, y'all, we are live here. We are waiting for SN5 to do a potential hop out at Boca Chica, Texas. Mary, Boca Chica gal, she's got this vantage point with a little bit of elevation. She's got our live stream camera going. She's operating two cameras, honestly. She's also operating a local recording camera where she'll record that local footage and take pictures and that sort of stuff. So we are standing by to see what SN5 is going to do. We're going to be sharing this with you. Apparently dragonflies all over the sky there today. I've seen so many dragonflies in between here and there. We're not planning on zooming in right now. We're planning on keeping this wide shot. We've calculated the shot so that if all of our photography math is correct, Starhopper, Starship here, SN5 going 150 meters tall should stay in the frame of this camera. We're not going to try any like close-in zoom tracking or anything for the live stream here. We're going to keep this static shot. And then Mary, I believe, with her local camera, is actually going to be trying to track this thing at a higher level of zoom. I mean, I say higher level of zoom. Can I say, is there a better way to say that, Jack? You're a photographer.
Yeah, higher level of zoom. That's how I would say it.
Or zoom.
Don't hate on yourself, Das. Have confidence. We believe in you.
Longer lens, or I don't know, reach,
Yeah,
something.
That's all good.
Yeah, all right, cool. I'll just throw some photography related words in there. How's that sound?
There you go. Yeah, just say depth of field and use a light meter, and everyone will think you know what you're talking about.
What's that? The BOK? How do you pronounce that? Brady
Don't
always says
ask.
it.
Well, you're asking me to wade into a minefield, the likes of which I prefer to avoid, sir.
Oh,
I do not know, and I do not care to know. It's that word with a B that means the nice out of focus areas.
you'll probably end up cursing someone out in like Swahili or something if you try to say it and
Yeah,
mess it up.
It's just not. I've tried to say it. I've been confident in the way that I've said it before, and then you always have that person that's like, well, actually, it's like this, and so I just don't even. I don't even try. It's that B word. You know what I'm talking about? That
You know what I
photography
mean.
B word with the good out of focus color areas. Anyways, I digress.
Oh yeah, just it's Boca Chica Village. It's right there. It's actually where we're filming from right now. Anyways,
Boca.
folks, it's Boca Chica.
There you go.
If you're watching us, what if we've been live for just a couple minutes and we're already almost up to 13,000 people? We are standing by. We know that the pad is clear. We're watching for some tank farm activity. We don't like to call it venting because when they're doing normal, the tank farm's just hanging out. Sometimes you'll see some venting, but one little puff of venting doesn't mean that, it's call mom to get the camera. We're going to wait for what we call tank farm activity. We want to see that tank farm basically start going crazy, venting from all over the place, from the middle, behind the 3 foreground tanks. Those are water tanks. In front of Starhopper, behind Starhopper, off to the side, from the grass from the side, whatever it is, we want to see that tank farm go active so we can be pretty sure that some fuel is flowing into that rocket. So once we see the tank farm activity, that's when we're going to start getting into our propellant looks like it might be loading. Then we can start guessing towards time. SpaceX does not release an official time for these tests. It is just they have this window, and they are going to try to get the test done, but they're not out there telling us at exactly this time we're going to be trying to do exactly this. So,
yeah, and if you're familiar from our previous streams, there is no flare right now, so we're kind of just dependent on that tank farm activity, right?
yeah, absolutely. We think the flare might be in pilot mode, or it may be turned off all the way. We don't know, but it's not something we can see. That big indications we used to get, that big flare would pop up and you see all this fire and you know that something's about to happen. Sometimes it was a scrub though, but anyways, we can't really see that flare anymore. Go ahead, Michael.
We have a good question from Daniel via Super Chat. Daniel's wondering, does SN5 have landing legs? And did SN5 have them installed before or after the static fire? So I believe they were installed before the static fire, but you cannot see them because they're actually located inside of the thrust section. And DOS just put up a picture for us. That's from SN4, but SN5 has the same type of design. So if you look very closely, you can see those 6 landing legs that DOS is circling right now. And those will fold out just before landing. So that's why you can't see them right now. It's because they're folded up right now inside a Starship. But you will see those maybe if you look really closely, depending on how much dust is getting kicked up out there, you might be able to see them deploy just before landing. And then while we have that picture up,
Nope. No.
Put it up.
Guess what? You know the person who puts the picture up. So
while we have that picture up, I also wanted to point out the engine. It's kind of hard to tell, but the engine is actually slightly off-centered. It's a little bit to the left, and that's because the thrust section that they're using is meant to store up to 3 Raptors. So it's going to be a bit of an asymmetric thrust, but that's okay. The engine will be able to compensate, and there's also a bunch of RCS thrusters on the vehicle. But when we see this hop happen, the vehicle might power slide a bit because of that. So it's going to be super exciting.
Yeah, those are going to be the 2 factors I think that make this sort of sporty. You'll have the off-center thrust, which will right at the beginning be very noticeable as it kind of slides off, and then when it comes into land, hoping that those landing legs, which have, as far as we know, haven't really been tested at all before, at least that's definitely not on a flying vehicle. So those are going to be 2 of the newer things compared to like the Starhopper hop that'll make this really interesting, and hopefully they go well.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see that power slide off the pad. I'm curious, like, how high is it going to get? Because before it starts, really sliding, especially
stand by.
because,
Hey, Mary, we need to get Mary on the comms. Stand by here. Let's make sure we see what's going on with that. Mary, if you can hear us right now, we got a settings screen on the camera there. Let us know in text chat over there.
Stand by, everybody. We are working the issue.
And she's looking at it. We're going to see what has happened with the camera there. All right. Let's see here. Let's see if we've got that video back. Stand by. Yes. Okay. It's live. We'll triage that. We'll figure out what was happening. Let's go back to the main screen there.
Hopefully it just went to sleep, like, one of those like little couple-minute timeout timer type things.
Yeah. Again, we're going to have a look at that. That's definitely not something that we want to have happen at, I don't know, T-minus whatever. I guess all we really get is T-minus 10 minutes with the siren that's supposed to go off, but we'll continue to make sure that that's not going to be a thing. But we do have the live feedback from Boca Chica just really quickly. Blink.
Well,
yeah, so what I was going to say is that I'm just really excited to see how high it gets as it power slides, because with Starhopper, I remember in particular, it would kick, the engine turns on and it kicks up a large cloud of dust, and then the vehicle very slowly and deliberately rose out of that cloud of dust. So we might not get a good view as it power slides directly off the pad, or if it gets up, if they want to maybe spare the pad a little bit of punishment, maybe they'll accelerate vertically in a more rapid fashion. I'm so curious to see what the flight profile of this thing will end up looking like. Hopefully we get a hop today. I'm so excited.
Yeah. I'm still frantically typing in the back channel.
Yep, that's fine. Keep doing your.
Kaz Masters with a $50 super chat. Wow, Kaz Masters is often on the stream, so we really appreciate your support. They say, woohoo, let's go full plaid to the pad boys, Texas Tank Watchers for the win.
On today on Texas Tank Watchers, we really hope the grain silo / tank / whatever hops. Hopefully we do see it hop, and thank you so much, Kaz. Also, I mean, again, another one of those people we see their name a lot, where, you know, Kaz Masters, we see you pop up a lot, and we appreciate what you do. Thank you, buddy. And everybody, I mean, I can run through a bunch of these if we want to do that now. Might as well. Blake. Oh, we got another.
Yep, stand by.
Yep, in work.
Das is on it.
Yep, we're on it.
All right, yeah, Blake Phil. Hopefully I'm saying your last name right. Thank you for the new membership. We got a couple new members here. We also got OB Pink Slip. Thank you, OB, for the new membership, and Procust. Kind of like percussion is how I think about that in my head. I don't know if that's right, but thank you, buddy, for the new membership, and a whole bunch of super chats. Vlex, thank you for the $7. Hopefully no boats get in the way today. Mr. Morgan Kelly, thank you for the €2. They say Heart Mary. I think we all echo that sentiment. We've got Doug Cruz. That's another one of those names, or Dog Cruz. $15. Please no boom. Rocket rocket emoji. I think we can all agree with that one too. Let's see. Did that one. Lewis, thanks for the €2. Don't forget to like everyone. Yeah, we got 13,000 people here. Holy cow, 13,000 people. Thanks everybody for tuning in. And we're getting this troubleshooted.
Troubleshotted.
We're doing troubleshooting as fast as we can. Just hang in there. We'll be back real soon. And thank you for your support. Let's see. Did that one. Craig Nauer. Cool silent K on your name there, Craig. Craig Nauer says, can you remind us how high Starhopper went? I think it got up to 150 meters, right? Is that the? Honestly, I'm second guessing myself. Maybe it went. You know, the estimates were like 120 or something, maybe a little bit less. I'm gonna have to go back through my my tweets and look at history and see how high it actually got. Does anyone remember off the top of their head? I'm just gonna say 150.
Starhopper?
Yeah.
Yeah, 150 meters.
Yeah. Okay. So it was a successful 150 meter hop for Starhopper.
Yeah.
Christian Ollendorf Knudsen, thank you for the €10. They say, I'm not sure I'll be able to stay awake for this. I'm absolutely pooped, but I will try my best. This is so exciting. It reminds me of the water tower hops. Right? This really does remind me of Starhopper hopping, and I'm really excited to get hopping again. It's been a while. It's been quite a while since we've seen objects in the air that seem like they should not be in the air. So definitely looking forward to that. And thank you for the €10. Oh my gosh, there's so many of these. Flex, thank you for your membership.
You're not gonna be able to keep up with them.
I'm not. I just have to speed run them so much. Rodarg, thank you. Roast beef, thank you for the $5. How do you even say that? Zelucid Gaming, thank you for the new membership. Whoa, okay, whoa. As an aside, thank you so much. $50. Thank you so much. As an aside, holy cow. They ask, how tall is SN5? It's 30 meters tall, right, guys?
I believe that is what we estimated. Yeah.
Yep.
And I just took a glance at chat, and I see Lewis Parrott in chat saying, Jack is so hyped, lol. And yeah, I am so hyped. Can you tell? I have not even had a single drop of coffee yet today. And I feel like I've drunk like three espressos. Rodarg, thank you for the €1. Kesadek, thank you for the however many currency units that is. Keith Gilbert, love Mary's sunrise shots. Yeah, I think we all really, really do. At some point, we're gonna have to do. We were talking about this yesterday. We're gonna have to do a Mary sunrise shot compilation or something.
Yeah.
CG Fly One, thanks for the $5. They say thanks for the live coverage. 5 again. We got 5 again in the chat. That's another one of those names. 5 with 5 and 5. And then John Hall. Go Texas Tank and stay cool, Mary. Oh my God, there's so many of these. It's never gonna end. John Denton with $5. Landing pad present. Oh, I just lost it. Hang on. Landing pad will be which direction from present? Away from the camera. So it's going to go up and away from the camera just slightly. But because of the way the telephoto.
To the right, right?
Yeah. So away and to the right. Quite the opposite to the Zapruder film.
Yeah, and we're gonna have to try and keep getting caught up with all those super chats that come in. But while we're working on the camera feed here, it looks like we know what's going on with the camera. While we're working on it, Jack, I've got this video that you put together in the past about remembering Starhopper. You want me to roll that real quick?
Yeah, let's look at Starhopper, and this will give you a really, really good idea for what we're going to see today. Hopefully, what we're going to see today. That's a great idea. I love this video. I kind of wish I'd waited until the 1 year anniversary because we might have some grain silo footage to throw into it. But yeah, let's take a look at that, and maybe we can even do like a play-by-play and tell people sort of what to expect for the grain silo. For SN5's hop, I keep calling it a grain silo. I feel like I should show it some. I should show it some respect.
All right, so here's that video that Jack put together about Starhopper. Hopefully I did this correct the first time. Let's see.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so there's Starhopper. The end. No, I'm kidding. So this was shot when I was there for the 20-meter hop and the static fire and the 150-meter hop. And then there's some of Mary's footage also thrown in there. So yeah, you can kind of see this is what would have been happening the last couple days. Guys on various cherry pickers, getting the vehicle ready. It was nice with Starhopper how you could see the Raptor so much more easily. And then there's the weird Sasquatch outline thing on the side that looked like it was made by somebody's kid, sort of. I feel like that's a little bit mean. Maybe I shouldn't say that. All right, so here's the static fire test. I believe I was there for the 20-meter hop at that point, but it aborted, so it ended up just being a static fire. But I'm not sure. And you can see this was okay. No, this is a static fire, not aborted hop, because that was Mary's footage. You can see the watermark there. So that was a static fire. Didn't intend to launch. And you can see a little bit of flamethrower action there from one of the vents on Starhopper, which was always fun. Okay, so here we are, some thruster tests. This is the RCS thrusters that control the attitude of the vehicle in flight. I was just checking to see if we had audio running on this. I don't think we do, but you can hear
Yeah, we do not.
Okay, so yeah, but in the video you can hear the audio of the RCS thrusters. SN5 will be using a similar kind of setup, although maybe perhaps not the quite exact same setup. But those are used to control the vehicle's attitude in flight since there are no aerodynamic surfaces. And this is another one of those RCS tests. I happen to be standing like right next to it when they did an RCS test, and it is super, super extra duper loud. And then I think this is yet another RCS test. You can see in the top right, yeah, you can see little blasts of the thrusters there. So, and then I think the next one up will be the 150-meter hop, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe we'll do the 20-meter hop next. Oh, looks like it just restarted.
Yeah, Jack, nothing I can do about that. Sorry.
No worries. Yeah, do your troubleshooting. So yeah, if you guys have some questions, throw them in chat. I will be happy to answer them. And then as we get a little bit further in the video there, we'll be able to see what quite it looked like and what this is going to look like, what the SN5 will look like, hopefully. Hopefully it hops today.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk a little bit about what's different between Starhopper and SN5, right? So Starhopper was kind of what the original Starship was going to look like. You see like the fin looking things on the side of Starhopper that were really supposed to be its landing legs. That design has changed significantly. We now have those legs that we showed earlier that are going to like fold out from underneath. And the aerodynamic surfaces that Starship will eventually have been removed completely from SN5, or they never had it, or SN5 have never had them, because it's only supposed to do this 150-meter hop test, doesn't need aerodynamic control. So that's a design change. The Raptor engine is basically the same. Obviously, SpaceX will continue to improve the Raptor engine like incrementally, but the engine itself is the same. They were both powered by Raptors, and that is a big part of the Starship test is giving Raptor flight experience. That's a big thing. Jack, you've been editing kind of our daily and weekly videos about as they construct these prototypes. What are the other like differences between some of the older vehicles like Starhopper and the current Starship SN5 test vehicle?
I mean, they're really wildly different. The other if you think about Starhopper, it's really not much more than a flying test stand. I mean,
Right.
the steel is super thick compared to the steel on. Sorry, hang on just a second. The steel on Starhopper is super thick compared to the steel on SN5. So, and even the legs, I don't think those legs are even representative of a design that was intended to persist beyond Starhopper at any point. They're so
Right.
huge. It's really like a flying water tower or a flying rocket engine test stand. So if you think about the current vehicles, even just Mark 1 versus Starhopper, it's much more indicative of an actual full up test of a Starship tank section rather than just like a flying engine test stand. And I really say, I don't mean to denigrate Starhopper by saying just, but if you think about it, there's so little on Starhopper that is representative of a flight vehicle. It really is just a way to prove that Raptor can do useful work, and that Raptor can fly, and that this architecture has a future. Just look at that. So I just want to underscore the Starhopper itself is 20 meters tall. So that flamethrower is at least as tall as Starhopper. So that's a 60-foot flamethrower. I really enjoy that, and the sound of that and seeing that in person. I mean, holy cow! And I think honestly, this didn't occur to me until recently. Somehow, I think that's nominal, because in the same way that they have to vent the flare stack and burn off the stuff off the flare stack, if that's a methane vent from the vehicle and they don't have a quick disconnect set up like they've spent time building and testing on SN5 now and on the ground set up now, then they have to get that methane to stay out of the vehicle somehow to safe it. And if they can't just vent it in the air, they have to burn it.
Yep.
So it certainly seems intentional, although I don't know that for a fact.
So I want to do this, Jack. I want to really quickly compare this video back in the day when Hopper flew with, let's see if we've got our live feed back. There's our live feed. So a little bit different angle for this one, but you can see the size of Hopper. See Hopper sort of hiding in the other tanks, and then look at SN5 compared to that. Again, we're back live from Boca Chica there. Just bringing the video back up. We're going to see how stable it is.
Yeah, it's a much bigger vehicle. Even, I mean, I think it's only, quote unquote, only 10 more meters tall, but the pad, also the mount itself, I think is taller than the previous mount. So right off the bat, it's already given a little bit more of a boost, if I'm correct with that assumption there.
The vehicle is about 10 meters taller than Starhopper is. However, it's also sitting up on a mount right now that kind of dramatic makes the difference in height more dramatic. I'm struggling with the words right now, but yeah, and it's important to note. So this is like a full scale prototype, and what we mean by that is that this section that you're looking at with the engine, the thrust section at the bottom with the Raptor engine and its 2 fuel tanks, are the full size of the eventual orbital Starship vehicle. What's still missing is the nose cone part up top that would contain the payload and things like that. And the extra mass that would bring with it is instead stimulated by that mass simulator you see on top. But the thrust section and the tanks are all full scale, just like the real operational Starship will be, at least the first version of Starship. And that's why this is such a big step forward. You're moving from the Starhopper vehicle, which by and large was just a way to give Raptor flight experience, and now actually testing more of the Starship systems, not including the Raptor, but also the thinner tank walls and things like that. So this is very exciting.
Yeah, and I'm going to start. I'm going to put a little bit of the ambient audio in there, y'all. We'll listen to it, and it's just going to be really light in the background. But I want to sort of get into the mood with some chirping birds here.
I'm ready to hear some roaring raptors too.
Roaring raptors, nice.
I guess it's only one raptor technically, but
I'm also ready to hear multiple. Whenever that we get to that point,
multiple will be insane, but one step at a time.
Yeah. Do you want me to jam through some super chats here? Thank you everybody for the support.
Yeah,
they keep coming in.
Roll with it. Just speed run them, Jack.
Okay, Scooby Flay, thanks for the €20. Bent Straight, thanks for the $19. Tree Hunters, thanks for the $1. The Prop Master, thanks for the $5. Stuart Ellis, thanks for the 5 curly L's. Space Koala, that's a cool name. Thanks for the $3. Virtual Super Soldier, $20. Wow, holy cow! Thanks, Virtual Super Soldier. Ready to fly, they say. Carl Schultz, thanks you for the $14.99. Also an awesome amount. Thanks so much for all the support. They say thank you. Thanks for doing it live, just much like Bill O'Reilly. Stuart Ellis 2, thank you for the 5 curly L's. They say, oh, I clicked it too quickly. This is what I've
Oh,
done
I
this to
hate when I
myself.
do it. We have a panel on our back end to show super chats and stuff, and if you click it mid reading, it flashes to the other part of the screen. You like have to wait for it to pop back up to finish reading it.
Can you talk about channel memberships and how to sign up? Fingers crossed for the hop. There's a join button, I think, right below the share button. If you look, you can join the channel membership. We would really support. We really appreciate the support of all of our members. You get a couple cool perks there. You get some chat emojis. You get some preview videos. And then at certain levels, you get Discord access. I think Capcom and above or something like that. So the Discord access is super fun. We all get to have a blast in Discord. And if you happen to sign up and be a member, if you're able to do that, we appreciate it. And if not, we just appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, there's more. Just keep coming in. True Hunters, thanks for the euro. Bumphead Exeter, thanks for the €5. Sebastian Cruz, yes, we hope it's happening today. We haven't heard anything. Thank you for the super chat. Step Vast, thank you for the €5. Billy Carlson, thank you for the $5. Hama Said, I'm sorry, I butchered your name. Thank you for the 1738. Interesting number. I'm not sure why you would go with a specific number like that. Hopefully it doesn't have any weird connotations. That would be unfortunate. Marco R, €15. New member and two new members. Oh gosh, how do I say this? J-O-A with an umlaut or an accent, and then O. I'm Ribeiro, Mr. Ribeiro, or Person Ribeiro. Thank you so much for the new membership. Mark McCombs, I don't know, I'm running out of steam here. Mark McCombs, thank you for the new membership. Camper News Network, thank you for the $5. That's another one of those names that pops up a lot. Carlos Martins, thank you for the €5. Rough Rider Show, another name that pops up a lot. Thank you for the $5. And then of course Bob Hobb, thank you for the $100 earlier. That's insane. You're insane in the best way possible. We love you. Yeah. Thank you.
Are kind of crazy.
Yeah, Step Vast, thank you for the €5. Awesome of you. Andrew Donald, $20. Wow, thank you. SpaceX did not announce a time for the hop. They never announced a time for the hop, but a decent question. We get it a lot, but we understand why. People want to know. And James Lynch, thank you for the new membership. It's a good problem to have, to really, to have so much support that I have to jam through these in that way. And oh my gosh, here's another one.
Seth Kirk, thanks, bye.
Yeah, Seth Kirk, thanks, bye. They say don't stop talking. Okay.
Can we get a round of applause for Jack? Holy
Look at that. I know, right?
With that, I'm going to refresh my soda water. You guys take it away for like 30 seconds.
Deep breaths, Jack. Deep breaths.
Thank you to each and every one of you who sends in super chats and memberships and stuff. We greatly appreciate it. And Jack's going to go catch his breath. But thank you to everyone. We love that you're all tuning in to see this hopefully historic and successful hop test. We've got the live feedback, and again, a huge shout out to Mary for bringing this. This is just an awesome view. I cannot wait to see this hopefully lift off in the next hour or so.
Yeah, it's hot out there. We've got I was bringing up the weather radar, and while we're not seeing a lot of precipitation in the area, it's 89 degrees up at Port Isabel, but it's a heat index of 99 degrees Fahrenheit. Over down there at Cabro at Brownsville Airport, it's 103 degree heat index. So even though the actual thermometer temperature is not blowing out the mercury or anything like that, the heat index is what's killing you out there, even at, what are we at now? 5:49 p.m. Central Daylight Time. So hopefully the sun continues to go down. It continues to get a little bit cooler and cooler, but it is a beautiful day out there, even though it's a scorcher, I'll tell you that much. Back to you.
Yeah, you can see in the camera view, you can see the shade kind of moving in, kind of from the camera towards Starship. So hopefully it'll cool down a little bit. We're all kind of watching from wherever we are in air conditioning, and Mary's out there in the Texas heat. So we greatly appreciate her being out there.
Absolutely. Again, y'all, if you're just joining us, we are standing by. That is Starship SN5 over there. This is a live feed from Boca Chica gal. She is set up, and if SpaceX can get all their ducks in a row to make this thing hop, we are going to have a fantastic view of it. Mary actually let us know that she's running 3 different cameras. So she's running the live stream camera, she's running sort of a backup wide camera like this that's locally recording, and then she's running another camera that has a lot of reach on it. It's going to be zoomed in, and she's going to attempt to track the hop with that other camera. So we're going to have a bunch of different views here. This is the one we'll see on the live stream, and whenever we upload the source videos to the channel later, we'll hopefully get some really cool zoomed in views of what's going on. But we appreciate everybody showing up. Again, we do not have exact timing on this. We're waiting for more activity to be visible in the tank farm, and we are trying to see if SpaceX is going to get their Starship prototype SN5 airborne. for the first time ever.
Yep. And we've
Today.
got some questions in chat that we want to try and get to. And we kind of touched on this one earlier when we are talking about Starship SN5. Ian wants to know what the dimensions are. So we mentioned that the height is approximately 30 meters. Not entirely clear whether that includes or discludes the vast simulator on top. But it's about 30 meters tall, and it is the full Starship diameter, which is 9 meters. So that'll give you a general idea of how large this thing is. A little bit bigger than the Starhopper vehicle, which has flown previously. But yeah, the objective of this test is to test out Raptor some more, give it more flight experience, also test out the landing legs underneath, which have not been tested before, and mostly just test a full-scale Starship tank and thrust section that's all assembled in low-altitude flight. Yeah.
I saw a question come through here, and I've been sort of assuming that everybody knows what SN5 is. On the screen right now, SN5 is the tall, silver, shiny stainless steel tower. The smaller stainless steel tower that's sort of tucked in the tanks there, that's Hopper. That's the old one that hopped before, sort of the first test article that they actually flew out there at Boca Chica. But SN5 is the big stainless steel tower, sort of right there, middle of the screen, a little bit left of the middle of the screen there. You can't miss it. You can tell that it's SN5
it's the
because
biggest one.
Yeah, it's the big one. Oh.
Yeah, and you may notice that the top of it isn't very aerodynamic looking, and that's because it's only going to go up 150 meters, and to get up that high, you don't need to go that fast. So aerodynamics isn't super important. It's kind of have like a blunt end at the top. That's okay. Further down the line, and this ties into another question that Jonathan has about if SN5 survives this test, if it goes well, will it continue testing or will they move to the next iteration? As long as this goes well, a successful 150-meter hop test should mean that the next test will go higher. And in order to get to much higher altitudes, you're going to need to get faster, and you'll need a Starship prototype with the full aerodynamic services. That means a nose cone, control fins on the side, and things like that, as well as additional Raptors. My speculation, again, SpaceX can always change plans or whatever, but if this hop test goes well with SN5, I would guess that SN5 will be retired. They could even disassemble it and use parts for different things. They'll certainly want the Raptor engine back and things like that. But if SN5 completes this successfully, my guess is this will be the end of SN5's flight tests, and they will move on to a new vehicle with all of those aerodynamic surfaces and things like that.
Yep. And should we go through the timeline we expect to see here, maybe?
Sure.
You can see that on your top left. So they pressurize the vehicle right before they clear the pad. We're not sure what they use for that. It might be nitrogen. It's most likely nitrogen. And then the road is closed. That ensures that no people from the general public can get to the pad. And then they clear the pad. They clear the pad of all SpaceX personnel. So all those things have already happened. And next, we're waiting to see the tank farm activity. So as they start to prepare for propellant loading, you'll see a lot of venting and condensation coming from the tank farm to the left of Starship. And then after that, propellant loading will begin shortly thereafter. That's when they make sure the vehicle is all filled up with liquid oxygen and methane. And then after that comes the 10-minute siren. That's a warning to the locals that a spaceflight activity that could end in a loud explosion if things were to go wrong is about to happen. And then the launch will happen about 10 minutes after that, followed by the landing. Then they will save the vehicle as it lands on the landing zone, which is located just behind the vehicle's current position. Finally, once everything is safe, they will reopen the pad and reopen the road. So that's the sequence of events we are expecting to see here today. But that 10-minute siren is really the key indicator that we're about to see a launch, because like Doss mentioned earlier, SpaceX is unlikely to put out an official launch time at any point. So
yeah, absolutely. So for everybody asking, what's the expected test time? We don't know exactly what the test time is. This is a very fluid situation. It's SpaceX testing within this window that's covered by the TFRs and the road closures and all sorts of different things. So we do not have a specific time from SpaceX, but we're going to be here watching it. And if it goes somewhere, I can guarantee you that we are going to catch a lot of those photons and hopefully send them over to you.
And there is one potential source of like a more official timeline, because at the last minute before the Starhopper hop test, SpaceX themselves actually put out a live stream with some of their engineering cameras and stuff. And if that does happen, we'll have that as a backup, and we'll be able to show you some different angles and things like that. And I believe for the Starhopper, they did include like a T-minus counter. But that might have, that went live like 5 minutes before the hop happened.
Yeah.
So the 10-minute siren will be the first like sort of firm indicator that we're getting close. And we'll keep an eye out in case SpaceX adds some different camera angles and things like that. There's no guarantee they'll do that for this, but it's a possibility.
Did you see, Jack? Did you see this one go through from Declan there in the super chats?
Oh
No, I
Jack-
didn't.
Your
Jack,
name is
yeah,
on
you
that
need to read
super
that
chat.
one.
Yeah.
Go. What?
He got to the first word.
You
Go.
got go. You were able to
Hang
pronounce
on.
go.
No.
Well done.
I'm trying to do this justice because I really appreciate Declan and everything he does. Seriously, for all launch photographers, it's amazing. It really is. Flight Club. If you don't know about it, you should know about it. If you want to plan launch shots, use Flight Club. All right. Let's see. Go, Rebbe, my Gabe. Mike?
Bless you.
I don't know. Rebbe, my Gabe. I don't know. Doesn't even sound like any language anyone has ever actually said ever. So
You better
I'm pretty
display
sure
that on screen, Jack.
that's completely wrong. Oh yeah, no one even knows what I'm saying. Whoops. There we go. Yeah, but thank you so much, Declan, for the support. We really appreciate your support, not only with the super chat, but with your awesome tools for photographers. Check out flightclub.io. Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. Oh, again, y'all, we're just standing by. You can see there's a little bit of wind in there blowing through. Hopefully it cools down a little bit because, like we were saying, it is toasty out there at Boca Chica. But over in the background, this camera is actually, I'm going to say this camera is looking, what, to the east, basically? So if you go past the sand dunes, you see some sand dunes over on the left-hand side. You get into the Gulf of Mexico out there. There's really not too much more. Jack, you think that's right? I think that's about east, maybe
Yep.
a little bit east-southeast.
Yeah, I'm like hurriedly bringing up maps right now.
East, like
Just to
east,
verify.
northeast a little bit, maybe.
Definitely,
Anyways,
maybe even southeast. It's looking into the Gulf of Mexico. either
yeah,
way.
the Gulf of Mexico is back behind there. So, again, this is a really remote location. One of the reasons SpaceX chose it is because of how remote it is. Another reason is because it's just about as far south as you can get. You want those lower latitudes so that you can more efficiently launch things into orbit. The lower latitudes get you a little bit more spin from the Earth, helping sort of sling you into orbit. So, a couple
Yeah,
things. Go ahead.
Camera's looking slightly northeast. Yeah.
Slightly northeast. All right, kind of up the road there, I guess, huh?
Yeah, like east northeast.
Yeah. All right. Oh, those birds. You can keep hearing the birds.
You gotta love that ambient audio. Thanks to our supporters there, we've got some stream improvements, and I'm always happy to see the improvements. And the ambient audio is gonna be awesome. It's gonna be so cool.
Oh,
when that
yeah.
Raptor fires up. I don't know. Can you tell I'm excited?
I don't know if we're going to be able to be quiet for this one. Remember how we were, everybody be quiet for the static fire. Oh, we want to listen to the static fire. I'm not sure. I don't know if we'll be able to pull that off.
I mean, you say that, but you also are the guy that has the button that mutes everybody. So
I do have but see, I don't know if I want to mute you. I want to hear you squeal. Like,
we should all like locally record our reactions, and then so we don't botch the sound. I don't know. I'm joking.
I mean, I remember when Demo 2 launched, and that's sort of, a huge historical thing that SpaceX was doing, I was stunned, like speechless. Like, I wasn't making any noise because I was just like sitting with my jaw dropped looking at my screen. So I feel like that's what I'm going to do if this hops.
Yeah,
we'll see.
So if you're wondering what we're looking for next, I mean, basically the next thing we would hope to see is activity from the tank farm, correct?
Yep, that's correct. Here's another question that came through over here really quickly. It is a repeat question. That's okay. How far away is the camera from the launch pad? This camera, the NASA Spaceflight camera that Mary is crewing out there, is about 1.5, 1.6 miles away from the launch pad. And usually I know that in kilometers, 1.5 miles to kilometers. It's actually, well, that's not right. 1.5 meters to kilometers. That's it's about 2.4 kilometers away. So 1.5, 1.5 miles, 2.4 kilometers, depending on where you're at in the world and what units somebody has convinced you to use.
I was about to get like
Oh,
really
go ahead.
philosophical there and be like, has anyone really convinced you to use units? Or are you really just born into a system that uses the unit? And then I just was like, no, Jack, don't. Abort.
Abort.
What were you going to say, Thomas? I'm sure it was far more interesting. And
Well, no,
perhaps
I was
more
just gonna
salient.
I was just gonna bring it. We have some more super chats. I was gonna offer you to speedrun them if you wanted to.
Oh, let's do this. All right, here we go. First off the bat, Livico, €2. Just want to annoy Jack more. Thanks, Livico.
Nice.
Stefan, thanks for the new membership. I'm not even going to try your last name. Carlos Martinez, thank you for the $20. Wow, that's $20. That's and Gordon Murphy, thank you for the $20. They say thanks to Mary, and I think we all agree. Thank you, Mary. Hey, chat, throw some thanks to Mary in chat. She's the one out there braving the Texas heat and bringing us the day in and day out views. We're just the ones gabbing over the stream here. Neurostream, $9. Thank you for the $9. They said the landing legs are supported by gravity, like a fire escape ladder, or they actuated hydraulically or electromagnetically. I think by gravity, but we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know for sure, to be completely honest. The Falcon 9 legs are just gravity, right?
Yeah, they have a little hydraulic that sort of pushes them over, and then it's mostly gravity.
Right.
But there's a little bit of hydraulic pressure. I don't know if it's like a
push them out
compressed
sideways, and then kind of gravity does the rest, right?
Yep.
I would bet that they use a very similar system on Starship just because they know it works on Falcon 9. I could be wrong. We don't know for sure, but that would be my speculation as far as that question goes.
And thanks, chat, for doing your job and throwing thanks for Mary there. I see chat blowing up, as it always does when I say that, and it's always nice to see. So thanks. Thanks for recognizing her hard work. Talamd, thank you for the new membership. Sam Norton, thank you for the super chat. Harry Young, that's a membership. Harry Young is a member, right? Thanks for the super chat, Harry Young. I just clicked through your thing. They say Brady or I is going to have their hands full with the 3 cams to edit for him. I'm excited. I'm excited to edit this footage. I'll say that. You can guess that, though. Sam Norton, thanks for the $3. Dane Larson, thanks for the new membership. Jim H, thanks for the new membership. David C, thanks for the $5. Let's see. Peter Mus Prime, thank you for the $2 Australian. I do love the future. Jack Eppington, good name you got there. Thanks for the new membership. Tom Ray, with some maths, as I believe it's said in England. Let's see, approximate volume of SN5 is number, what is that, 58,412 cubic feet. I'm not even, this is a lot. Thanks, Tom Ray. It's one big gas can, is what they say. They gave approximate measurements. I'm not even going to try. Taras, because I'm trying to go faster. I'm trying to go faster. We can talk about more interesting things.
There you go.
Taras Sheveko, thanks for the $5. They say it's 7 p.m. in Russia. Let's see. Should Boca Chica be named Mars City? That'd be cool. I like Boca Chica, though. Merlin, thank you for the new membership. Mike Lutke, thanks for the $20. And Demurrage, thank you for the $4. Is methane condenser a new technology? Thanks for your time. I don't know if it's new or not. I mean, they have to condense methane one way or another in industrial applications. I don't know if it's new for rockets or what. I mean, methane in rockets is new in general. So that's a good question. I'm not sure I know the answer to.
Elon did specify that it is solar powered. That element of it might be pretty unique to their SpaceX applications.
Yeah, good point. And okay, you guys just stop with the super chats. I was almost done. Jared Herbert, it's a really good problem to have. I'm joking.
So close.
Jared Herbert, thank you for the $5. How much fuel will it need for the hop? Something tells me it'll be very, very minimally fueled. Basically, as only as much fuel as necessary for the hop. That's just probably for safety reasons. And then Tetra 84, they're going to add more fuel for this hop versus what they loaded for the static fire tests. Good question. We don't know how much they added for the static fire tests, so we don't know how much they're going to add for this one in comparison. But good question. I'm curious. That is all of our super chats, and I want to say, I know I'm running through them. It's because so we can talk about more interesting things. I mean, not that super chats aren't interesting, but my point is that I'm going fast. That doesn't mean we don't care. We care. Thank you so much, everybody. We will only use that money to improve our stream.
Absolutely.
So, I've got a question here. This was a question that came through. I just saw it scrolling through chat, and it's one that I haven't heard very often. What's the point? Why are they going to try to hop this thing? What is SpaceX trying to accomplish with the hop? What do y'all think they're going to be looking at here? They know they can land rockets. The Falcon 9 already lands. Why do they need to land this thing?
True. All right, so yeah, I'll take this one. So
Go for it, Tom.
Back in the early Falcon 9 days, they had this thing called Grasshopper, which you may notice is similarly named to Starhopper. And that was literally a sort of miniature Falcon 9 first stage that had these sort of bolted on landing legs that didn't deploy or anything, and it had one little Merlin engine at the bottom. And basically its purpose was to help just fly straight up and straight back down. to help them figure out how they can land rockets. This is kind of doing the same thing for the Starship vehicle. Now you point out that they've already landed rockets with their Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy boosters, things like that. So why do they keep doing this? They've changed several things when they moved from their Falcon rockets to the Starship vehicle. First of all, completely different fuel. They're now using liquid methane and liquid oxygen as opposed to kerosene and liquid oxygen, which is what the Falcons use. And as a result, they are also using a different engine. This is the Raptor engine, as opposed to the Merlin engine used on Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy. So those are two big unique changes. They also have the stainless steel construction, whereas Falcon 9 uses an aluminum alloy and things like that. Starship is built out of stainless steel, really thin, strong stainless steel, and as a result, the overall construction is very different. So this vehicle differs pretty significantly to the Falcon vehicles. It is also much bigger, much wider. It's a 9-meter diameter. Falcons are like 3.7 or something. That number's in my head for some reason, so I'm going to guess that's what that is. But a much wider vehicle. So that's another element that they're changing here. Basically, there's so many factors that went into the differences between landing a Falcon and landing a Starship that they want to kind of go back to the beginning and do that same test program that was so successful for the Falcons, short suborbital hops to really prove out the engine and the control systems on the way up and down. Of course, the landing legs design is also different, and that's something we're going to see them test today, hopefully. So yeah, there's so many things that have changed between the two vehicles. They want to be thorough. They want to test it incrementally. You don't want to go for your first orbital test flight first thing and kind of go for it all at once. You want to test, with scaled down prototypes and things like that, and test systems as you go and sort of build up to a fully operational vehicle. So that's why these tests are so important.
Incremental testing.
Yes.
If you know, like, gimbals are all the rage now, right? Like for cameras, put your camera on a gimbal and you get really smooth footage.
Oh yeah.
It makes me think of that a lot. In that you put a different camera, or you put a camera on a gimbal and you're walking around and you have a lens on it and everything's fine. You put another lens on there, and I'm talking the like really professional gimbals. You put another lens on and you have to balance it and get it all nice and do a little tweaking. And even though it's the same camera, and even though there's some commonality, you have to basically do some tweaking to get it all balanced and get the software to know what it's doing. So definitely there's probably some commonality. Probably listen to me hedging. There's some commonality.
Definitely, probably, maybe.
Yeah, right. They'll be able to use lessons learned from landing Falcon 9 on what they're doing with Starship. But like Thomas said, so much is different, and they've changed so much. And the engine is so different, and the fuel and the vehicle is so much bigger. All of that it necessitates going back and doing some of those steps over again, just to make sure that whatever models they have in their computer and in their heads that they think Starship's going to do, it conforms to reality.
I'm working on a drawing over here.
Okay, you're drawing something. It figures. When you don't have bluebirds, you start drawing.
Sneaky. I was working on a graphic for a tweet. Sorry.
Oh, nice. Very nice, Das. I love it.
I wanted to compare. This is my estimate of what the trajectory is going to look like, and I want to actually play this over the video and see how close we get. Sorry. I'm not very often quiet, but I was sort of sticking my tongue out of my mouth and biting it while I was drawing very carefully here.
We got a Picasso in the making over here, guys.
Oh, jeez.
Good stuff.
I'm going to take these 2 super chats real quick before Jack can get them. Oh, here we go. Daryl says, read faster. Everyone do a super chat right now. Thanks for the $5. And Mosh Pit with the $5. Great stream, like always. Thanks, guys. You're the best. Appreciate you guys. Your support's the reason we get to do this kind of stuff. And we love to all just hang out and watch a grain silo try and fly. Oh, I'm stealing Jack's jokes now. But,
Man, it's nobody's exclusive joke. But for real, though, we appreciate the support. I mean, 1080p, 60 frames a second does not mess around. Those data rates do not pay for themselves. So you guys are helping support what we do and bring these views to the world, which is seriously awesome. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
For the diameter of Starship SN5 is 9 meters.
yep, the same diameter as a fully operational Starship would be.
And Astro asks, is SN6 a backup if SN5 fails? Possibly, but hopefully SN5 is going to work.
Yeah, we don't really know what SN6 could be. It could be a backup if SN5 experiences a problem. It could have some other role in the future Starship program. We're not exactly sure, but we're going to keep an eye on it and see what happens. We'll have a better idea once SN5 does whatever it does tonight. So.
And Kale is asking via super chat. Starhopper also flown with one engine, so the same amount of fuel should be needed for SN5, right? This could give you an image of how much SN5 is fueled. Yes, definitely. I definitely don't think they will be fueling Starship SN5 with all of its. They won't fill up its tanks all the way full because there's so much volume. It would significantly increase the risk of a test flight if they had the tanks fully fueled. So I think they're just going to put like the minimum amount of propellant in SN5 to perform this hop. That will reduce the risk to the launch site and surrounding area in the event of an anomaly. You can also see there's a mass simulator on top of the vehicle. That is that little cube at the very top. That was made by welding two steel coils together.
Yeah, and Michael, your audio has gone really quiet again right now. I've got you cranked as much as I can, and I cannot put any more volume on you on the server. So if you have any...
Might be worth a quick like disconnect and reconnect.
Yeah, something like that, because we're getting some weirdness there. Now we're going to blow out everybody's ears, because I literally... I put you at 200%. I can get more all she got, Captain. Like...
It's a Discord bug we've been having.
Yeah.
There's some like Discord audio glitch that this happens occasionally.
Yeah,
I did not change any settings on my end.
That sounds a little bit better there.
Better to me
Yeah,
end,
yeah.
So.
Whatever happened, you got quiet and then you disconnected, reconnected, you're good to go now. So chat, hey, you are a remote production team. If something like that happens, feel free to say. I mean, we're not embarrassed. We want you all to help us get the stream going. So if you hear something, just please feel free to do that. We are not embarrassed about that stuff. Ah, yes.
So like I was saying, if you can hear me, the cube at the top is a mass simulator made of two steel rolls, same type of steel rolls to use to build starships. That is likely to help add mass because it's going to be very low propellant in Starship SN5 for the hop to reduce risk in case something goes wrong.
Excellent. Sounds like we've got some backup noises there too.
It's weird being in Boca Chica when you hear those sounds constantly, like the angle grinder and the backup alarm and all of that stuff, for hours and hours or days and days and days. It's almost like sea legs, but for your ears. Ears, sea legs. I don't know, but it's like when you're not there, you still hear the beeping for a period of time until you. I don't know. That's how it was for me, anyway. But it's a testament to how hard they're working and how constantly they're working.
It looks like Chris B beat me to the punch with the hop image there. He tweeted out the hop image. Again, y'all, we're standing by from this. Still not seeing a lot of activity from the tank farm. I mean, I'm squinting down to like 2010 and making the pixels as big as they'll get, and I'm not seeing the tank farm going crazy yet. It's going to be a little bit difficult in this lighting from this distance to see condensation, the tank getting frosty. I think maybe we'll be able to see something, but that tank farm venting is what we want to be seeing, and I'm not seeing anything yet. How are we doing on time? It's 6:14, so we've got about an hour and 45 minutes before the end of the TFR. The temporary flight restriction ends at 8 p.m. CDT, Central Daylight Time. That's the upper left-hand corner of the screen. You can see the current time there in Boca Chica, but we're watching it, and hopefully this puppy flies.
Yeah, we've got some time to work with right now. We're not late enough in the window to be worried about. We don't think they're gonna have time. We've got a little bit of time to work with.
Absolutely. So don't fret. Don't fret.
Yeah, I'm wondering how much even condensation and whatnot we're going to see, given that like we were talking about a few minutes ago, the fact that we're thinking they're probably not even going to fuel it up too much. They've got the nose cube, the mass simulator on top there, to replace propellant and nose cone and whatnot weight. But if they're not putting that much propellant in the vehicle, will we even see it get too frosty or condensaty? Maybe it'll just be activity from the tank farm. Boom, it'll go. I mean,
yeah, they may speed run the fueling operations. Of course, they'll do it safely, but like we have to deal with our super chats, they may just put a little bit of fuel in there and send it, you know? But we are watching again. This is a live feed courtesy of Boca Chica gal Mary, who is out there bringing us this awesome live view. Got a little bit of elevation. You can see the camper. That's like an RV or something down in the front there. It actually looks like the door of that RV is open. Interesting. Oh, I just noticed that.
SpaceX mission control. Fun fact.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, what's up with that RV? I mean,
Yeah,
whoever it is probably pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm actually asking Mary what it is to see if she can't shed a little light on it. I think it may be an official SpaceX RV.
Could be.
Like
Today on
SpaceX
Texas
has put
Tank
it there.
Watchers,
Yeah, right?
a car drives by. Look at that! Look at that cargo! It's driving.
Yeah! I am frantically looking all over the place.
We got a question here from Michael.
Wait, sorry. The methane recondenser is now venting.
Oh,
Just
yep,
above
there you go.
the 3 water tanks, 3 black water tanks.
Oh,
just
yep.
at the bottom left of
Yep,
SN5.
yep.
Behind that is the methane recondenser, and you can see it's now come to life.
Excellent.
Nice. That is the beginning of
It's
some tank farm
happening.
activity. Yeah.
It's not even a little bit come to life either. I mean, that was a couple of really good puffs there. So let's do
Yeah.
this. Let's get this thing going.
Chat,
Let's
without
start seeing- yep.
really blocking any of the main picture, I'm going to give you all a little bit of a sort of locator shot here, right? So have a look. That's the hop graphic. Oops. Sorry. So you're gonna be looking in this area right here. It's gonna sort of go on forever, but right around there is where we were seeing a little bit of venting. Right there, I put the locator graphic up there, and I guess it's going to cascade on forever. But whatever. There, now you can see it. If I watch this a different way, it doesn't have that in there.
We did have a question here from Michael. Starhopper also flew with 1 engine, so it should be the same amount of fuel. Not necessarily, because you have to remember SN5 is also larger than Starhopper, so the mass requirements are a bit different. They also have that mass simulator up top. It's not necessarily true that Starhopper like simulated a certain mass or anything. So there's a couple factors that have changed between Starhopper and SN5, so the fuel might not necessarily be the same. What we do know is that they will likely only use as much fuel as they need to do the hop. On the off chance that something goes wrong, you want to minimize the damage from a potential rut or something like that. And when I say rut, I should probably explain that. Rapid unscheduled disassembly is the technical term that we like to use around here. But yeah, just in case, they'll probably use the minimum amount of fuel.
Yeah. That minimizes the risk as well, right? If you don't carry a full load of fuel in there in case something goes wrong, we don't end up dumping, hundreds of thousands of gallons of methane into the Gulf of Mexico or anything like that. You just take what you need for this test, put that big stainless steel mass simulator up on the top, simulating the rest of the nose cone, and
Wow, look at that! Look at the venting right now.
Oh, yep, there you go.
Yep, that's what we want to see.
As activity picks up here, I want to run these super chats really quick. First of all, Das Mitochondria says he loves your drawings. So
Aw, shucks,
there
thanks.
you go. We got Pampalak with the 5 pounds. If SFI's 150 mirror hub will be successful, why not try more 150 mirror hubs till some failure occurs? Well, I think if they accomplish kind of all the data points they want to accomplish with this hop, you're taking up the launch site to continue repeating that test. So as long as you accomplish all your data points that you want to get SN5 out of the way, and whatever test vehicle you want to do next, you want to bring that to the test site. So I don't think they're going to be repeating tests unless they see some data that they want something new or want to re-verify something, stuff like that. Yeah. We also got a couple new members.
Ooh,
Devin.
Sorry, look at the venting. On the far left from the grass.
Oh yeah, we've got venting
Yep.
to the left of that grass vent, we like to call it. Yep.
All right, let's get this hype train sailing. Let's get some excitement going. Let's do this. Trains can sail.
Like they can sail? Get this hype. Did you say get the hype train sailing?
You know what? I'm excited. All right, I'm excited.
This is not a time for logic, Dust.
A hype train sail.
Oh my goodness. A couple new members, Devin, Tumker, and another. Wait, Devin is a member again. He must have upgraded his membership or something. Thank you guys for joining the channel membership. We appreciate your support.
I think now I cannot do a. Let's see here. Infinite.
Infinite picture,
Yeah,
picture,
infinite
and picture, and picture, and picture.
Yeah.
Interesting super chat. The real hop is the friends you make along the way.
Oh
course it
no,
is.
is that John? Is that the Kraus?
Thanks, John.
They let anybody into these streams. Oh my goodness.
So I'm going to try this out real quick to see if I can do it. You see some venting from this area right in here. You see some tank farm activity from here. And then over in the grass as well. Earlier we saw some venting from there. So I'm going to use that little picture as sort of the locator. You can look at the little picture and see where you should be looking on the big picture. I don't want to actually mess up the big picture in any way, though. So we'll call that our locator shot. How's that sound? Whenever we need to point something out. It's a new feature of the live stream. Not really. It's just the main video smaller, but whatever. If you're not putting the picture in the picture in the picture in the picture, you're not innovating, is what it is. Is it going to fly to the left or the right? We think that if it does the hop, it's going to go up, and it's going to sort of slide a little bit to the right and go away from the camera. So from this perspective, it should go up and down, a little bit like that tweet that we put out about the expected trajectory. Of course, I just made that up. I was drawing a very skinny rainbow, but it should go up and down, landing away from the camera location here.
Who needs Flight Club when you have DOS's illustration skills?
DOS taking a wag at it is what it is. Oh, geez. Look at this. Fraser Kane.
Sorry, update. Go for it. Really quickly, sorry.
Go ahead,
Elon Musk just tweeted, we were at T-minus 33 minutes, according to Elon Musk.
As of what time did he tweet that?
He just tweeted it right now.
So that would be 56, right?
Sometime around then, yeah.
Yeah. 6:56, according to Elon Musk's tweet, 33
All right,
minutes
I got
from
my
now.
watch.
There you
Got my
go.
watch set.
What kind of T0 that would give us 6:56?
I
If
believe
my
so,
math is
yes.
correct?
6:56, yes.
We're
And
coming
again,
up.
that's
We're,
plus or minus the error bars on whenever that tweet actually got sent. But yeah.
yeah, we're still at 4:23 right now, or 6:23 local. So, yeah. So I would say 56 is good. Also, 56 is a good Futurama reference. So I'm just going to go with 56.
Nice. There you go. So we may get confirmation of Elon's prediction there if at 46 we hear the 10-minute siren. They are going to do the 10-minute siren, right?
They should. They're supposed to.
I was told. And look at the grass venting there now. There is a lot of venting happening from
Venting
the grass.
activity is definitely picking up, and that aligns well with fueling operations being underway.
It's super nice that we get. So we know now, for a fact, what 33 or however many minutes in. It was 33, right? 34.
Yep, 33. I think you said.
Yep.
So now we know what that looks like, what that stage in their current flow for a fueling of a Starship looks like. And it looks like this, which is really exciting, but also it's a really good data point in the future when we don't have an Elon tweet, when we're looking at these sorts of things and wondering, oh, I wonder where we're at in the flow. Activity at the tank farm picked up. We saw the methane recondenser start to become active. We saw the grass vent start to go. And then we got that data point from Elon there on Twitter, 33 minutes. So that's really cool to know, and it's excellent. So that next time we're trying to analyze the tea leaves, we're able to speak a little bit more authoritatively.
Yes, that's why we have our roadside rocket science, we like to call it. We sit here on the side of the road or over in Boca Chica Village, and we sort of watch what's going on, and we learn SpaceX's procedures not because SpaceX put out a press release, but because we take notes. We pay attention. It's almost the scientific method, the way that we learn what SpaceX is doing out there, just by paying attention and keeping some notes.
Yep.
So yeah, my hat is off to people like Ben in our Discord, or people on the NSF forums, or just people online that do the math, or like go and count the pixels and do all that stuff, because it's all about the whole community of people, and everyone has their specialties. I mean, I forget. Oh, I'm really sorry, I don't remember your name, but there's one of our members in Discord who just was counting cars going to and from the pad.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
It's we're all a team here, so thanks everybody.
Yep, and I just put the countdown. Now that we have Elon's tweet, I did put the countdown in the top left of the screen. Again, there could be built-in holds. Elon might not be providing play-by-play commentary, so the time could change without us knowing. But based on the latest official information, you can see we're at about T-minus 28 minutes and 30 seconds approximately, based on Elon's tweet.
Yep. Whew. We usually don't get countdowns on these streams. Down at Texas Tank Watcher Central, we usually just have to sort of wait, and we get the list of things that need to happen on the left-hand side there, but we don't normally get countdowns. We get our mysterious siren, and then we all start counting from 10, but let's see if this holds.
Now it feels really, really real. I mean, we have a countdown going. We have confirmation that they are going for it. We are not just watching paint dry here. We are watching history about to be made. We hope, the next step in our exploration of the solar system. Yay! Let's see this thing hop.
So exciting.
So exciting.
One thing that a lot of people forget, this isn't an entire starship. This is like 2/3 of a starship right here. A normal starship would have another nose cone, another cargo section on the front. This is just the fuel tankage in the aft skirt. So you've got a methane tank up at the top, you've got a LOX tank in the bottom, you've got a Raptor that's sort of tucked up under the bottom in a skirt. And when we have an actual starship, there will be even more area up front where the crew or cargo will ride. So it's not even its final form.
And then there's that whole super heavy booster thing that I guess they're going to put underneath it. I mean, this thing's going to be ridiculous at some point.
Yeah, it absolutely is going to be straight up ridiculous.
Yeah, I like to sometimes be overly specific in the labeling for the videos or whatever and just say like Starship Prototype Tank Section serial number 5, because that's really what it is. It's a prototype tank section of a Starship. There's so much more to this vehicle that we will see built out and added over time, which is yet another thing to be extremely excited about. And then of course, like Thomas just said, super heavy. Oh my gosh, super heavy. Oh my gosh. That's going to be amazing to see happen. I cannot wait. I'm excited for Super Heavy on the same level that I was excited for Falcon Heavy. I distinctly remember like an overwhelming excitement for Falcon Heavy, and I feel the same way for Super Heavy. I am agog. Is that an appropriate term for this? I don't know
so.
if it is.
Yeah, that
but
sounds
I
good.
am.
How tall is Super Heavy supposed to be? Like, this is about 30 meters tall. How tall is Super Heavy supposed to be? Do we know?
Googling.
Whoa.
Googling.
Future Martian with $100 super chat.
Wow.
Future Martian.
Whoa.
You are awesome. I don't even know what to say, buddy. We're
He is a
25
regular
minutes.
around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's another one of those names that pops up a lot. We appreciate you, and we're 25 minutes away from a 150-meter hop, and I'm glad you're joining us, and I'm so glad that you appreciate what we do so much that you're willing to support us with that much money. That's no small amount of money. Thank you, dude. Thank you so much.
It definitely isn't. God, we really do appreciate the support. Go ahead.
The Super Heavy stage is approximately 70 meters tall.
70 meters tall. So this is 30, and the Super Heavy is more than twice of this, and then you're also going to put a Starship nose cone
The Starship
on top of
total
it.
should be about 50 meters.
So this is like a, hang on, I've prepared the artist rendering here. Let me see if this looks right. That's about what it should look like, I think, whenever we get this thing exactly right. That looks right, isn't it?
Yep.
Do we want to give the backstory to that, or are we just going to leave that up there and let people figure out what that might have been from?
It's not to scale, and since it's stainless steel, it's not painted either.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out earlier framing for this camera so that we can see, how can we frame it? How should Mary set it so that she can get the entire hop with one camera without having to operate this camera, since she will be operating a camera with a much more zoomed in lens, and can't, mess with this during the live stream, during the hop, I mean. So we built that very high-tech graphic. I just overlaid the vehicle over and over and over again as the yardstick for itself. So yeah, that's where that came from.
It's like the Boy Scout way of measuring things. They used to be like, oh, you sort of measure the tree, and then you lean your finger over to the side, and then you can pace it out on the ground. I mean, same sort of concept, just with Photoshop.
Yeah, I mean, if you find like a part of your finger is like, oh, that part of my finger is 1 inch exactly. Bam, there you go.
Bam. Always have a ruler. I was going to say handy dandy ruler, but then I refrained from saying. Anyways, moving right along. Some people asking about the timer. Is that an official countdown? The timer that you see up at the top of the screen, negative 23 minutes, or negative, T-minus 23 minutes and 41 seconds. That is based on a tweet from Elon Musk. So are the seconds exact? How exactly did he send out the tweet? Did it take him a minute to type it? Whatever. That is just based on the timing of his tweet and what he said in that tweet, 33 minutes. And he tweeted that out about 10 minutes ago. So we are probably going to end up changing that or removing that as we get a little bit closer. I don't know what the plan will be, but let's listen for the siren. In about 13 minutes, we're hoping we hear a siren. Yeah, confirmation, right?
Yeah, we'll see if the siren matches our clock at around T-minus 10 minutes. If it doesn't, we'll remove it. If it does, we'll keep it going.
Yep, sounds good to me.
And when we get super close, and we do the same thing for our regular launches, because it's almost impossible to get the T-minus counter on our stream exactly to the real world, like T0 counter, we'll probably take it away in the last couple seconds just so it doesn't look, just so it's not misleading or anything. It is mostly approximate, but it gives you an idea when we're expecting things to happen.
Yeah, without the exact timing, we don't know exactly when the hop will occur, and so you end up with things like a stream delay. They're still doing the go, no-go poll when the rocket takes off, so we're we try to stay away from those things. I'm gonna
step away. I'm gonna step away a minute. You do your thing.
All right, I was gonna speed run some super chats here really quickly. Let's get through these. Wow, Bart, 20 euros from the land of beer and chocolate. Science bringing countries together. I like that one there. Thank you for the support, Bart. We've got Nathan Smith venting with some exclamation points at the end. Thank you, Nathan Smith. Brian Matzik, here's the hops and mixed metaphors. Appreciate you there, Brian. James B. Franks, woo-woo. Appreciate the woo-woo. Oliver, new membership. Thank you. Rob, new membership. Thank you as well. We've got Bill D giving you some of my beer money. Bill D, I hope we see we have a reason to drink some frosty beverages after the hop today. We're still standing by 21 minutes, but thank you so much for the support. Fraser Kane, thank you for stopping by the stream. Fraser said they will indeed let anyone into these streams with a 50 Canadian. I was actually on Fraser Kane's podcast stream a couple weeks back talking about how we enable coverage of events like this sort of remote learning and live streaming and stuff like that from the field. So Fraser, thank you so much for dropping in and saying hi. Christy Westaway as well. Christy, thank you for the 50 Australian. Jessica, this is Jessica Cora. 32 minutes ETA per Elon's Twitter. You actually did a super chat to make sure we didn't miss that. We appreciate that, Jessica. Mal Maloney, new membership. Thank you. Daniel Hickson, or Danielle, I'm going to go with. Let's go 150-meter hop. Thank you for that one. Future Martian 97, $100. We said that one, but that super chat is so nice, we're going to say it twice. Future Martian, thank you so much for the $100 super chat. Definitely not playing around. No one says, when does the Texas Tank Watcher merch come out? Funny you should ask, no one. Stay tuned.
Interesting.
Stay tuned, no one. Amity, thank you for all that you do. We appreciate the support. Amity, we can do it because of your support, because you keep showing up. Who else do we have? Austin, won't the pressures under the skirt be too high on the landing attempt, thus act like a hovercraft? I think that the landing legs should allow it to actually not build up a bunch of pressure. It's not too close to the ground. You will get some clearance from the landing leg, so I think we're going to be okay there.
Yeah. Also, the Raptor engine nozzle kind of is even with the bottom of the thrust skirt, so it's not sort of shoved up in there. There's the pressure difference won't be an issue anyway.
Yeah, it would be sort of cool to see an SN5 hovercraft go down the beach, though. Not today, though. Another time, maybe. Bitquark, thank you. Cole Logan, let's light this candle. Appreciate you. T-Rex Man 25. Thank you, NSF and Mary. Always Mary. We always say thank you to Mary, because without Mary, we would not have this fantastic coverage. Go SN5. We appreciate you, T-Rex. Jeff Arrington, picture of cold margaritas here and sending out to all. Thank you, Jeff, for the support. That probably sounds good down there right now. There's Mr. Zyplexer with another $100. Jeez. Mr. Zyplexer, thank you so much for the, I'm just going to use the term, ridiculous amount of support. We appreciate you. God, it's, when you're speedrunning, you gotta take a little bit of time for that one, right, Thomas?
I feel like I'm running out of ways to say thank you, but I just want to reiterate that everyone who sends these super chats, I mean, we greatly appreciate it. It's what we get to do, what we love to do, which is share all this exciting space news with you all, and sit around and watch a Starship test. I mean, this is awesome, and thank you to everyone who supports this.
Absolutely. It's the thing I always say, you can only say thank you so much, and the number one thing we can do is keep the live stream coming so that people can share in this event and experience with us. Joel Hagerman, or Joe actually, no, that's Joel. Thank you, Joel. We've got David England as well. You make space development a lot of fun, NASA Spaceflight. Thanks all. Thank you, David, for the support there. Oswin, width of an adult's thumb is 1 inch. So we've caught up with our length of fingers conversation we were having there. Thank you for that one. Therian, watching SN5 via 4 different cameras. You love the internet. Nice, Therian. Thank you so much for that one. Simon, with a membership there. Appreciate you. And then Peacekeeper Hero. Off we go into the wild blue yonder, trying not to hit the sun with our ship. I really can't wait for the hop. This is going to be good. Peacekeeper Hero, we appreciate the support as well. Thank you so much. And that brings us down to just over 18 minutes, according to the man himself, Elon Musk, saying 33 minutes, whatever the math is, minutes ago, so that our timer says 18 minutes on my mark. Well, it already passed, so mark, whatever. It's not exact. It's more of an estimate, really.
But yeah, you can look at the launch site, and we've got, I mean, plenty of visual cues. You can see a lot of venting in and around the tank farm and kind of creeping up to the vehicle. Fuel load is underway. They are going to be loading liquid methane and liquid oxygen into Starship SN5. The liquid oxygen tank is on the bottom, and the liquid methane tank is on top. And they're going to be filling both of those, or at least partially filling to whatever fuel levels they need in advance of the hop test. And we're getting really close now. The next major milestone is going to be that 10-minute siren in order to alert all of the locals in the area that testing is about to commence, and they should pay attention, make sure just in case something goes wrong, they can protect themselves. But it gives everyone a heads up that stuff's about to happen, 10-minute warning, and that should come up in about 7 minutes.
Hopefully. I want to hear it. I want to hear the police siren, and when that timer gets down to maybe 11 minutes, we'll bring up the ambient audio so we get the sweet, sweet sounds of emergency audible notification. I don't know. Somebody else come up with a better way to say that.
We do have the ambient audio playing right now, Das, correct?
Yes, we do. It's just a little bit low
so
right
we will, when that siren happens, you will all hear it, I promise.
That's sweet wee woo.
Sweet, sweet wee woo.
Yeah,
this is a family-friendly stream, Jack. Come on, jeez.
Oh,
Let's listen to the birds real quick. You can actually, sounds like you could hear some people talking in the background too, maybe. I'm not sure if that was like a trick of the imagination
just
or
quickly,
something.
the liquid oxygen tank is now venting from the bottom left-hand side, if you look really closely of Starship SN5. So that confirms that propellant has been loaded into the vehicle, and now we are waiting for the 10-minute siren, which could happen as early as 6 minutes from now. They do have, they often have holds when they have to wait for something like propellant temperatures to get just right or something along those lines. So there's a good chance that from when Elon tweeted to when they actually static fire might be a little bit longer than 33 minutes. You have to hold for something. But we'll get another time check at T-minus 10 minutes when the siren goes off. That'll help us recalibrate our current clock to make sure it's in sync.
Yeah, and again, if you're just joining us, we're NASA Spaceflight. This video is coming live from Boca Chica. This is our NASA Spaceflight remote camera. I actually call it NSF Remote 01. We have Remote 02 at Cape Canaveral, and that's all we have right now. But it's Remote 01 coming live from Boca Chica, Texas, courtesy of Boca Chica Gal. Mary is the person out there. She brings you those daily videos, the updates of construction that you can see what's going on, unprecedented access and unprecedented insight into SpaceX's progress towards a functional Starship. Of course, Starship is Elon Musk's dream of being on Mars, hopefully one day carrying the human race, making us a multi-planetary civilization. Multi-planetary species, I think is the right way to say it, right?
Yeah,
So,
you got it. You got the idea.
Yeah, close enough. So we are standing by. This is a prototype of that future Starship. This is fuel tanks and engines. It's not even the entire Starship. There's a big nose cone and some fins that would go on it. But we are watching live from Boca Chica, history in the making if they can get this thing hopping up to 150 meters. It should hop up to about the top of the screen if we've done our camera math correctly.
Yes, our camera math that involved copy and pasting an overlay of the Starship vehicle 6 times to make sure it fit in the frame.
Technically, it's math because we had to count to 6.
Okay. I love it.
Oh, good times. If you've never been to one of our live streams before, you know how to get back to it. There's the like and subscribe button down there. We do these sorts of things. We're sort of known for our commentary. So if something interesting is going on, we will be giving you a view of it, but we'll also be trying to explain it, let you know why it's happening. And you can tell go ahead.
There's significant venting coming off on the left side of the vehicle, that liquid oxygen vent there.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That's really
That looks a lot like what we saw ahead of the static fire. Everything is looking great. That we are going to see a 150 meter hop attempt today. Let's hope that Raptor engine fires up successfully and does its job. Oh my gosh! Sorry, I just completely interrupted you about venting and then went off on a tangent.
No.
Venting.
It's all good. I was going to say, so there's almost 20,000 people sharing this with us right now.
There is 20,000 people.
There are 20,000 people sharing this with us right now. I don't know that I'm going to ask where people are watching from. There's no way that I'd be able to reach it. Should we do it?
Oh, well,
15
now
minutes,
you've
12
done
minutes?
it. You've done it already. It's
I'm
too
gonna do
late
it.
now.
You can't even mention
Look at
that.
all that. There's a huge amount of venting on the left side of that same liquid oxygen vent. Look at that. Clouds and clouds of it.
I love it. Wow, look at that. Look at the chat go. I have it on like the fire hose chat. None of this top chat stuff. Come on. And I can barely even pick names of locations out of there. But I wanted to make the point. It is amazing that with today's technology, we can share this with people literally all over the world right now. People watching from New Zealand, Poland, Brazil, England, Switzerland, Italy, St. Louis, just sort of drinking from the fire hose there. But this is an amazing thing that we can share with y'all. I'm going to shut up and go check on the modems real quick.
Yeah, so you can see the vehicle is loaded with propellant. It looks like it is all ready and good to go. Significant amount of venting coming off of the left side of the vehicle there. That would be the liquid oxygen vent, like Michael said a few minutes ago. And that's indicative of what? I guess liquid oxygen in the tank and the vehicle being loaded. So that is extremely exciting. We are so excited to see this vehicle do a 150 meter hop. And if you're wondering why, it's because it's the next step of our advancement into the solar system. This is the thing that can lift enough weight to really make a difference, to get us to Mars, to get us a permanent base on the moon, to do all sorts of really, really exciting and interesting things in outer space. And I think we all can agree that's exciting, and we'd rather live in a world where we have something to be excited about. So,
yeah. I'm going to just really quickly out loud, because I know Mary can hear us right now. Mary, in the back channel, if you could let us know the status of the modem we affectionately refer to as Big Ears. There is a modem that has two big antennas on it, and if you're hearing us right now, all right, good deal. The status of Big Ears. Thank you. I'm just curious on that. We're watching that bitrate, y'all. Again, this event has pulled people from all over, and there's no landline internet at Boca Chica. In order to get this live feed, we have 4 different 4G modems that are connected to cell phone towers up near South Padre Island. But South Padre Island only has so much bandwidth, and so we are continuing to watch this. We've done everything we can to bring you a nice, clean feed. All 4 modems are ticking off right now, and we get down to a point where we get the bandwidth that we get, but look at what time it is. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the ambient audio.
We are getting close to that 10-minute warning, assuming that the countdown has proceeded. There hasn't been any holds or anything. We should be getting close to that 10-minute warning. Let's see.
Yeah, any second now, we should be able to hear us. Just insane to think we could be just 10 minutes away from this thing flying through the air, hopefully and landing. Oh my God, I can't even talk. Landing, well, I guess that's the only word I can think.
Successfully.
I hope it lands well.
In mostly one piece.
Yeah, I hope it sticks to landing. That'd be really great. If it doesn't stick to landing, honestly, let's remember that they're testing a variety of things here, including, I believe, what is an outdated leg design. So the landing is, although we all want it to land well, and we don't want any damage to the pad and the facilities, and it would be a setback in that respect, even just in the fact that they would have to clean up debris. We don't want it to not land well, but if it doesn't stick to landing, I mean, the flight alone is an accomplishment. Yep. So I just want to make that point right up front.
Just quickly, we just went under T-minus 10 minutes of Elon's tweet. The siren did not go off yet, so I have temporarily moved back to the local time. And once the siren goes off, we will resume our countdown. Again, there might be built-in holds, so when Elon tweeted to now, there could have been some change in the target launch time, but we will continue to monitor that.
Yep.
Yeah, and it also could have
absolutely.
been a very slight thing. It could be a minor thing. It could happen. You know, the siren could still happen any second. So it's not a sign of a major issue.
Siren.
It could be. Oh,
Mary saying in Discord, siren.
Let's see. There
oh,
you
there
go.
it is.
10 minutes to go, guys.
No
10
way.
minutes to go. 10
We
minutes
have-
to the future.
We've put that. Michael's got that timer back up now, recalibrated based on the 10-minute siren.
Yeah, again, that siren there is the warning for the people in Boca Chica that something big is going to happen. The warning actually says people should... you can't even hear me over the siren. That's a serious siren. They're going to, like, do a lap around Boca Chica, it sounds like. I'll let them finish.
Oh, now the adrenaline's going.
Look at that. You can see a good amount of condensation coming underneath the skirt area of the vehicle. So Raptor is chilling down and preparing for flight.
Yep. So about the siren there, SpaceX actually puts out warnings via the Sheriff's Department, and they recommend that when you hear that siren, you should exit your home in case there's some sort of unplanned pressure event / explosion at the test area. They warn residents against being inside their house where they may get shattered or showered with broken glass if there's a pressure wave that comes from an explosion. So that is what that siren is. That siren is the warning for the residents to exit their houses for safety purposes. So for us, it means that we are now just over 8 minutes, hopefully, away from the maiden hop of SN5, SpaceX Starship prototype. Feels like the sheriff is still doing the lap there, so...
Yeah, it's a siren. I think the sheriff starts near the roadblock, which is near where Mary is filming from, and they drive up near the production site, and they turn around near the production site, I think around Remedios Avenue, and they come all the way back down to the roadblock. So what we're hearing now is them coming back towards the roadblock. So that's why I mean, I know it's a 10-minute siren, but we're already at 8 minutes based on when the siren started. So
it's been a 2-minute siren so far. It's been going off for more than 2 minutes now.
yeah, I saw a chat earlier that was like, "What's the usefulness of a siren for 10 minutes straight?" or something like that. And I was like, "Come on, thanks, Dad."
Actually, just gonna turn the siren on and attach it to Starship until it hops. Just as it's in the air, it's got a siren going.
Nice.
That'd be a cool Doppler effect, I bet.
Oh, there you go.
Rocket
Oh,
Doppler.
now I want to attach a loudspeaker to a rocket and do Doppler effect science with it.
With a
Rocket
rocket?
Doppler would be a good band name.
Although, there you go. Although it might be difficult with the whole rocket engine firing right next to it. It's hard to be louder than that.
It
Rocket
is.
Doppler or Doppler rocket. Anyways, Starship.
You know what I want? I want a big red safety light on top. That's like a red lighthouse
yeah.
thing.
Yes.
And with the siren, I want SN5 itself to have a big rotating red light on the top. That would be amazing.
There are
light-
states. There are states and like municipalities where a vehicle or a structure over a certain height has to have certain types of lighting, like
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
like
Like a
a
beacon?
radio mast or what have you. Yeah, it would have to have a beacon. That would be pretty silly if they.
We've
had
got
to
some
give-
venting from the top there. You see the venting from the
Look at
top?
Yeah, it almost looks like that top tank might be a little bit condensatey as well. So this is great. This is a pressed vehicle. This is a vehicle filled with propellant, ready to hop. We're about 6 minutes, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less. with
Yeah,
change,
6.5,
depending,
yeah.
Based on that siren. So I'm so freaking excited. I'm gonna check my my
We
heart
can
rate
tell.
here. Sorry, I be quiet.
I love it.
You can see SpaceXers in the bottom left of your screen right now watching. I think you can also faintly hear them in the distance. Definitely a lot of people who have worked on this vehicle starting to wait and see with us what is going to happen here. But hopefully now it's about 6 minutes away from the first hop of a full-scale Starship tank section. The only thing this vehicle is missing is a nose cone and fins. Other than that, it is the full size the actual Starship vehicles will be.
It's really absolutely tantalizing to think how cool this looks by itself, and just odd and otherworldly and surreal. I mean, all the adjectives. But when it starts to have a little bit of venting, I think I heard just then.
It might have
Yeah.
been, yeah.
But when they start to put aerodynamic surfaces on this vehicle, when they put nose cone on this vehicle, especially when they start stacking it on top of a super heavy, I mean, this is not the end of what this will look like. This is only the very, very, very beginning, and it's really tantalizing. I mean, I'm excited for this. This is only a one-engine vehicle. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
there's so many milestones to come. There are so many things that we are excited to see in the progression of the development of this vehicle. So this is the first step, and that's why we're so excited for it. 150-meter hop. Let's do this.
Yeah, coming up on 5. Just actually went over 5 minutes there in the countdown. Again, it may not go exactly there. It's not an exact thing. There may be a hold or something, but that is based on the siren that we heard. SpaceX says that siren should sound 10 minutes before the big event, the big to-do, and that happened 5 minutes ago now, just over 5 minutes ago.
I know we want to cut the audio before the hop, and I just really quickly want to say thank you to all of our supporters. Thank you to everybody tuning in right now. Thank you to everybody that hits the like button, the subscribe button, and especially thank you to all of our channel members. Couldn't do what we do without you guys. Thank you so much, everybody, for the support. It's absolutely stunning and surreal, the support that we get from all of our viewers, and it helps us do what we do, and we'll only keep trying to do it better, and just thank you again.
And when Jack says cut the audio, he means he will cut our annoying commentary, and we will let you listen to the raw audio of Starship's Raptor coming to life in Boca Chica, Texas, and hopefully landing Starship SN5 on the landing pad just past the vehicle and a little bit to the right.
Yep.
So you should see it go up about 150 meters, and translation over to the landing pad should also be about 100 meters, maybe 150 meters. So it's going to be quite a sight here in just a couple of minutes if all goes well.
Yep. My favorite comments that we get too on that, just the last little thing I'll say, my favorite comments that we get are the ones from people and members and whatnot that say, you know, this content has been helping me in hard times, or this content is what I look forward to every day, or I wake up and I watch this with my breakfast. Like that kind of sentiment is really amazing, and the fact that we're able to bring people happiness all around the world sometimes is so touching and so amazing, and I really appreciate everybody's help in allowing us to bring these things and happiness to everybody all over. That's amazing, and thank you.
I'm going to jump in, Jack, because you're talking about sharing this with other people. There are more than 30,000 people watching this stream right now. 30. It looks like a ski ramp.
I have no words.
I could launch a rocket off of the graph that shows the people who have been joining the screen here.
Yeah, and we appreciate your eyeballs. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We are just under, hopefully, we think 3 minutes based on that siren, the warning siren, 3 minutes away. So fingers crossed, and let's see this grain silo take flight.
That sounds like we might have heard a little bit of a vent there really quickly. I keep hearing some noises. I want to do, right now there's just about 4,000 likes. Every now and then when we mention the fact that there's some likes, it'll go up like 1,000 or 2,000. I wonder how many likes the video can increase by right now. There's a little thumb on there. It already went up by 250 since the time that I even started mentioning it. God, just over 2 minutes, y'all.
Yeah, if you appreciate what we do, smash the like button. We appreciate you guys watching. Any way you can support, including just with your eyeballs, with clicking that little thumbs up button, we appreciate the support so much.
And again, we have the time currently calculated based on the siren going off for T-minus 10 minutes. There could have been a hold since then. So if we do not get any official indication in the next, 45 seconds from Elon, I will just remove the timer and we'll know that the hop could happen within the next minute or two.
I'm going to ask out loud really quickly. It sounds like there's a drone or something. I don't know that SpaceX has put up a drone over this area, but does anybody else hear that? I don't know.
I can't hear anything, but surely they have a drone in the air. They have for past tests and whatnot. So we're just about a minute away. I think we're going to cut the audio here shortly, but the next thing that we'd be looking for is, I think, closing off of that lower liquid oxygen valve. They'll shut it off. The vehicle will stop venting, and then it'll fire up that engine. I believe is how that will go. So I think around this point, at least I'm going to stop talking, and I'll do my best to not ruin our sweet, sweet ambient audio of that Raptor engine.
Yeah,
listen into that ambient audio, and we will talk to you on the other side, as we say.
Again, we've removed the countdown timer because we do not know the exact time. We don't know if there's a hole. There's no comnet that we can listen into here, so we've removed that timer.
All right, if you're wondering what's going on, looks like
A double vent.
Yeah, there's a double vent from the vehicle, which is indicative of an abort or a depressurization, at least an abort. And I swear, if I go back and rewind, I saw the engine section of the engine area barf, some condensation or some vapor, which would be indicative of startup.
Yep.
So we might have gotten as close to engine startup, and then the vehicle aborted for whatever reason. I mean, that's to be expected with tests like this. It's new hardware, it's a new GSE system, it's a new engine. I mean, there could be a variety of reasons, completely nominal, that the vehicle just didn't like what it saw for any reason and aborted the startup process. They don't want to start up if anything is going to go wrong, and if they check all the things that they would be checking when they start the engine up and they see something they don't like, they're not going to just plow ahead for the sake of plowing ahead. So I'm not sure. I think we have enough time left in the window to recycle, but I'm not sure if we do. We're going to have to do some maths and go in our back channel here and figure out what we think based on what we've seen in the past and sort of read the tea leaves. But
I think they should have enough time to recycle.
We still have another hour, right?
They still have an hour, yeah.
Yeah.
And we saw that the whole propellant load sequence took like 30 minutes, so.
Yeah.
Awesome. I don't know if my heart can take another one of those, but
it can. That was a practice run.
I'm glad they have time to recycle. Holy cow!
But again, they have to be able to fix or troubleshoot the problem and then recycle. So it's going to be tight, but not impossible. We'll have to stay tuned. Maybe Elon will hopefully tweet something and let us know. But for now, just hang in here with us, and hopefully we will have some more information in the next few minutes. If they cannot pop by today's window, which ends at 8 p.m. local time, they could also try again tomorrow. They have another window from 8 a.m. local time to 8 p.m. local time. So that's the current status.
Do we have another window tomorrow, or do we have a window the next day?
Tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Tomorrow, okay, so all day tomorrow.
That's based on the flight restrictions for the hub. I'm not sure if they could possibly, extend the window today, but usually they don't like to make changes to flight restrictions last minute because it can be disruptive to aircraft. So,
right.
I think it's unlikely, but you never know.
Yeah, the birds are active over there, voicing their opinion about the aborted hop there. Again, y'all, just to recap, we got down to what we believe was T-0 for the hop of SN5, and it looks like there was an abort that occurred. We saw some activity from the vehicle, maybe some spin coming out of the bottom, but we did not see an ignition. We did not see the Raptor start to produce thrust, and so SN5 still rests placidly on its launch mount there. We still see some venting on the back of it, but that double vent that we saw up at the top, 2 different ports up near the top of the vehicle will vent at the same time, and that is usually indicative that they've called something off. So we'll see what SpaceX's plan here is. Again, they want this thing to hop. They don't want to blow it up. They're not trying to destroy this thing. They want it to fly and land successfully. And so if there's something that would prevent that from happening that they can stop, they're not going to just push forward and do a hop no matter what. So we will see as we continue to watch live from Boca Chica, Texas, the progress of the SN5 150-meter hop test. This is like when
I
it's
mean,
like, no, a word from our sponsors. Like,
I mean, yeah, I was just gonna say, do you want me to? Speaking of our sponsors, it's everybody watching. Thank you, everybody watching, for your support.
it's you.
Yeah, it's you. Thank you. A word from you guys. We appreciate you helping us bring these views to the world. You're bringing people happiness. Like I was saying before, that hair-raising hop attempt just then, startup attempt. You're helping us bring these views to everybody in the world, and we get comments every day. People saying, "I wake up and I eat my cereal and I watch this," or "This is the best part of my day," and it's really touching seeing people say
There went
that
a drone.
stuff.
Look at the drone. That's an Inspire. Look at that.
I don't have eyes on it. Where is it?
You'll see it. It'll come up here. There he goes.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Bringing out the big guns.
That's a nice drone. It's like a
Dust is
transformer.
like,
drone.
I want one of those.
It was so I actually got to go to DJI's training showroom in China, in Shenzhen, China, and they trained me how to fly that drone right there with one of the engineers that built it. So I like that drone.
All right, easy
Yeah,
with
I'm
the
a-
flex there, Dust.
Hey, what? No.
I mean, no, it's an excellent drone. I'm a commercial drone operator, and I don't have that. I don't have one that fancy. I just have a Phantom 4 Pro, which doesn't do anything. Well, it's good. It's nowhere near as good as that. I mean, that thing,
Oh,
like
cool
you were
drone.
saying, it can look in 360 degrees. You know, it kind of transforms a little bit as it takes off to get the landing legs out of the way of the camera. It's got interchangeable lenses. It's a beast of a camera. It makes sense because SpaceX doesn't want to spare any expense on the sort of views that they're going to get from this. And if you remember Starhopper's hop, they had an amazing drone shot from that, and I believe that was also an Inspire too.
Yep.
It's interesting that they haven't done an Inspire 3. But
Yeah, they
that's-
sort of went to the smaller consumer drones instead of the larger sort of camera drones, like
well,
filmmaking drones.
They are still making the I think it's called the Matisse. It's like the octocopter.
Yep.
And like hexacopter version. But for whatever reason, that middle with the Inspire and the Phantom. Anyways, you want to jam through some chats here?
Well,
I was doing a sponsor.
I was
I
gonna
was
do
doing a
this.
sponsor run, and you distracted me. But do it. Go,
I was
bye.
gonna do this, right? We've
Mute
gotten to the point in the live stream where your significant other walks into the living room or your computer, your office, whatever, and they're like, "Are you still watching those tanks again?" Because nothing's happened. There's no rocket flying right now. Like, what is this? You're just sitting there staring at tanks. And so to commemorate that, we here at the NASA Spaceflight team have put together a very special T-shirt. I don't know that
Oh,
that's
boy.
actually small, big enough. How big can I make it? Can I open this image in a new tab? And then can I zoom in on the Texas Tank Watchers T-shirt? I had to do it. I had to bring up the Texas Tank Watchers T-shirt. Jack, do your very best next time on Texas Tank Watchers.
Next time on Texas Tank Watchers, Jack buys a shirt right now.
And this is the first time we've actually told anybody about this. Over in our shop, NASASpaceflight.com, you can go and click and get a Texas Tank Watchers, I'd say limited edition, but it's not really. I mean, it's just a cool T-shirt that's the silhouette. It's got the sun and the 80s font, and there should be like, some flames in the background or something. I don't know. Like,
Got the sweet vaporwave grid. I love it. I'm all about it. Mary
exactly.
in our Discord saying a lot of vehicles are leaving.
A lot of vehicles are leaving.
It doesn't mean it's done for it's game over for the day. All that means is that it might take a little bit. Falcon Heavy famously went the very first one went, I think, with like 3 minutes or like 5 minutes left in the window, something insane like that. So we've got time, people. At least we hope. We hope we have time, people.
And again,
We'll
it's
see.
7:04. It's 7:04 p.m. local time. So we have 56 minutes before Starship must be back on the ground. So it must hop and have landed by 8 p.m. Central Time.
So again, SpaceX is looking at the data that they got off this. Of course, there's all sorts of sensors. There's more sensors on this vehicle than you can shake a stick at. And they're looking at all the data they got. They're seeing what went wrong. Was it a sensor that was out of family or something like that? And they're going to determine if they have enough time to recycle this. One of their big limitations here is the temperature of the fuel. If they can't get the fuel to the right temperature, the fuel and the oxidizer to the right temperatures, sometimes we've seen that may be an issue. So Not exactly sure if they'll be able to recycle it, but we don't do anything other than stand by and make sure, or stand by and watch whatever's going to happen. Family, yes, in family. Temperatures in family. Pressures in family. I didn't just make that up, did I?
No, that's right. You know, in family means like nominal within normal ranges or acceptable ranges. Yeah.
Is there like extended family, and then there's like...
Varying levels
whenever-
of acceptability.
Whenever I hear that phrase in my head, for whatever reason, I just think of like a scatter plot or like a graph, and there's just like a bunch of stuff in one chunk of the graph, you know, like a clearly defined pattern, or just a cluster in one area of the graph, and then there's like a dot just like way over somewhere else where it shouldn't be. That's out of family.
That's out of family, nice. That's an outlier.
Yeah, we could maybe even it's estranged. I don't know, but then we get into jokes that
What?
are potentially we get into jokes that are potentially depressing and perhaps not.
All right, again, we're watching. Boca Chica gal has eyes on the situation out there. She is watching. One of the big things we like to watch are the SpaceXers themselves. So people who aren't in the SpaceX test control room, they'll come out here and they'll stand on the side of the road next to the roadblock, and you can sort of keep an eye on the SpaceXers. And if the SpaceXers are still watching, there's still hope. But once the SpaceXers sort of pack up and leave, you're like, oh man, shucks. So we're continuing to watch what's going on out there at Boca Chica. Looks like we had some sort of abort there. We got down to what we thought was T-0. I'm not even going to say sound and fury signifying nothing. We just got a little bit of a puff and did not see the vehicle do the hop as we were hoping to see here. So not the end of the world. It's still standing tall. Raptor engine still installed on the bottom. We have to come up against basically a race for time now. We're trying to see if SpaceX can safely recycle this, reset all the variables, make sure the fuel levels are correct before the end of the safety window. There's what's called a temporary flight restriction that basically tells people with airplanes not to get around here. Like, stay clear because we're going to be flying something that's an experimental vehicle through the air. And so when that temporary flight restriction expires, SpaceX not allowed to attempt the hop. They would have to wait until the next safety window, the next flight restriction opens up. And I believe that that's tomorrow morning, last I knew, right, y'all?
Yes, the next window opens tomorrow, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., same as today.
Gotcha.
A big thank you to everyone who's still tuning in. Stick with us. We're going to be holding on to see if there's another attempt made tonight. Hopefully, I mean, they have just under an hour of time left, and in theory, the vehicle should be pretty, fully fueled and everything like that. So in theory, if they can clear the issue, they should be able to hop pretty soon. So we'll keep an eye on it.
We do have some tank farm activity there. We're seeing activity from the tank farm again, especially down at the base of SN5. So let's see what they're going to do.
That would be the recondenser, that area there behind the 3 vertical water tanks.
Venting has really picked up just now around the tank farms and stuff.
Yeah. That doesn't look like it's condensation coming down from the skirt. That looks like quite a forceful vent down at the bottom of SN5. I'm watching for the bull vent over on the left-hand side and see if we get that bull snort.
That's probably a bad sign if we do.
My least favorite vent, yeah.
Yeah, and Mary and I are going to back. And again, thank you to Mary for bringing us these views and for being out there in the Texas heat. We have a lot of people tuning in right now. If you all don't know, if this might be your first time tuning in, Mary is the person that lives in Boca Chica, is out there every day.
One of the few remaining residents there. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why we have these views. So thanks to her. In our Discord, she is saying that all the SpaceXers are leaving. So So in that kind of same vein as the bull vent, not being what we like to see, SpaceXers are leaving. Doesn't mean they couldn't come back out, to see if it reattempts, but that's not always the best sign when we leaving.
Yeah,
it could be a sign that it's going to be a few minutes before they come back for another attempt.
Exactly.
At the very
Exactly. Yeah, it could just be a little bit maybe. And now that all of that activity has kind of ceased. I mean, there's still a little bit of condensation from behind those 3 tanks where that recondenser is, but yeah, no longer a giant sort of cloud. But yeah, keeping an eye out for that bull.
The bull snort vent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We'll see. Again, some of the clearest signs are once the roadblocks open, but we'll continue to monitor the situation here in Boca Chica, determining whether SpaceX will have the opportunity for another attempt at the 150-meter hop for SN5.
Do we think they would go beyond the window?
Well, they can't
it is,
unless the
yeah, it's
cycle
unlikely.
are changed.
Yeah, the TFR, I don't know the exact technicalities there, but my understanding is once the TFR is gone, they would be violating some of their permissions if they continued with a flight test.
Yeah,
And
I
it
think
is,
that-
I mean, it is technically possible to extend temporary flight restriction, but it is much more difficult than extending like the road closures and things like that. So it is very unlikely that they would go beyond that window.
Yeah,
Okay, Mary in our Discord saying there's a few SpaceXers that haven't left, but most have. So entirely possible.
I'm going to bring down the background audio just a little bit there.
So yeah, entirely possible. We're still looking at a recycle, but we do not know currently.
Yeah.
And the next sign we're going to be looking for is for tank farm activity to pick up again, which could indicate a recycle and they're going for it again, or if we see vehicles go back to the pad, that would be the sign that the other way that we are not making another attempt, or if nothing happens by 8 p.m. local time.
Yeah.
So we're going to be looking for one of those things to become apparent.
Absolutely.
there's definitely not enough time for vehicles to go back to the pad and then they recycle. So they're going to have to, whatever the issue is, they're going to have to be able to fix it remotely if they want to be able to attempt in the final 48 minutes in the window today.
Yep.
Hopefully Elon will tweet. I'm guessing the indication that we will get about either option is that Elon will tweet, but we'll see.
Yeah, curious that he tweeted the countdown.
The countdown, yeah.
The time to ZT0, but we have not, to my knowledge, gotten an update yet about a reset or a recycle. Or I wonder to be a fly in the wall of mission control. I mean, oh my gosh, I wonder what's going on in that room right now. Very curious what conversations they would be having, and just imagine, hopefully, in 30, 40 years, we'll get a book from some of these people, or from multiple of these people, or from Elon himself, talking about the sort of trials and tribulations of creating a new vehicle like this from scratch. I mean, talk about first principles.
Was Elon's tweet, was he replying to someone, or was that
It was
just
a reply?
It was a reply. Okay, it was a reply. Gotcha. We were trying to find a link for it back in the control center.
We got it.
Cool. The NSF mission control. We have our own live stream control. Greetings from NASASpaceflight live stream control. Like.
Yeah. So, Chad, if you guys have some questions, I think now would be probably a good time. Throw the questions in chat at NASASpaceflight. That helps us see what everyone is asking.
There's been an entire stack of super chats come through as well. We are way behind in super chats.
We're so far. Okay.
I would just read the names, not the message, and the message will show up on screen. Because there's so many.
Unless it's a really cool message. So now if it doesn't get read, you
yeah.
didn't think your message was cool.
No,
Dang it, I shouldn't have said that. Oh, what have I done? I stepped right in it.
Oh, jeez. Who's gonna do it?
We love all your messages equally, as if they were our children's. I'll get it. I'll get it. Since we did that one.
You're
hey,
the most pro of all of us, so go for it.
Bobinski, thank you very much for the support. We've got Erland Sandoval, thank you for the membership. Frank Colombo, thank you for the coverage. My 11-year-old daughter, Rocket Girl, and I love to watch. I'm reading that one. That is a fantastic way to get the future generation involved in what's going on here. Sitting down with your parents, sitting down with your friends, and just seeing what's happening. That is how you inspire the next generation of people who are honestly going to be riding these things to Mars, I'll call it. Frank, thank you so much for the support there. PJ Silva, new membership. Jonathan Rauscher, will we actually squeal on liftoff? Stay tuned and find out. Mighty Caesar, thank you for that one. We appreciate it. There's some chicken landing legs up under there. There are landing legs that'll deploy from the skirt. Ash H, I hope they land successfully. I agree with you. Erland Sandoval, first-time watcher, already loving the stream. Me too, Erland. Me too. We've got Kalu Nama. Kalu Nama, thank you very much. We've got Federalist with some super chat. We've got E Unum Pluribus. Is that backwards? Anyways, we appreciate you. Thank you for the support there. List, thank you. Andrew Donnell from Melbourne, Australia, thank you. Night Striker, thank you for the support as well. Paul Daly's in there. Bill Cotton, Nathan Smith, Glenn Ashworth, Owensbury, Therian showed up again. Godspeed SN5 from Hopeless. Hopefully your name doesn't match the fate of SN5 here. I still have hope that they'll do something today. We'll see. LR, Ole Mars. Hey, that's actually a good name. Ole Mars. Area H, Johnny Marcon, or Joni maybe, Kyle Everett. There's LR again. Paintball Guy, appreciate you. Kaz Masters with a membership and an upgrade. Master Robert Walker, Austin Barrick, and once again Bart, who has 313,586,649 miles on your boarding pass from the Mars rovers. So good luck from Belgium. Bart, thank you so much for the support. Whew. Everybody still here?
Well done, Das. Good work.
I've done that a few times in my day. Like
he is the professional around
couple
here. We're all
times.
just here to hang out.
So here's a great question. If SpaceX goes for a recycle, if they determine that they have enough time to try it again, do y'all think we'll hear the siren again or nah?
I feel like in the past, if they've recycled and have to gone outside the 10 minutes mark, that they have sounded the siren again. But I also feel like there's been times where they recycled to like T-minus 2 minutes or something, and thus they didn't do the siren again. I'm not entirely sure. What's the history on that?
I feel like
I was going to say they will sound the siren again. In fact, the notice said there could be multiple sirens. But they're not going to do 2 hops. So if they say there could be multiple sirens, that's a good sign. If they recycle, they would do it again.
Yeah, that makes good
Makes
sense
sense.
right there.
with the thinking.
Yeah, Hydra said the gift sub bobs over on Twitch from Champion are good training for reading things off quickly. Yeah, you're not kidding, Hydra. Whew, Robert Lucas, thanks for the membership too. In addition to the overtime fund, Bumphead Exeter, thank you as well. And Mary is confirming they would sound the siren again. So we know Mary, being the resident there, she knows what would be going on. I mean, look at the venting. Come on. Oh, there's some venting happening.
We all really want this to happen, I know.
It's like one of those, you ever see on the movies where they're trying to light a fire with tinder and they're like striking a like do a little drill where they're putting the stick between their hands and rubbing it back and forth, or striking a little striker and they're like trying to make it light. I just want that tank farm to ignite is the wrong word, but I want that tank farm
to life.
to come to life. Thank you for the save, Thomas. I do not want the tank farm to ignite. Again, we're
like
just
I said
standing
before,
by.
I am a writer. I am good at these kind of things sometimes.
There you go. And that's like writing on the fly. That's
Yeah.
a specific skill. No editing. You said it out loud, so it immediately goes out to the world.
It's like improv or something.
Yeah. And one of my longtime buddies over on the Twitch side saying, is it wrong to say I'm good with any outcome for this hop? Successful landing or not, they will definitely learn something. SpaceX definitely operates that way, Savvy Rainbow. Whatever happens, they're going to learn something, and they're going to improve. I'll improve on your methods. They'll improve on their methods, basically. I hope somebody else got the chat. Did anybody get the reference? I'll improve on your reference. Anybody get that?
I'm going to be honest, I didn't get the reference,
Okay.
DOS.
That's okay.
I missed it. I missed
you're like half
it.
my
Oh
age.
no, I probably would have got it. I was zoned out.
My normal viewers over on Twitch know the reference. Anyways. I may have just physically hurt my voice trying to do that.
He's got a super chat from Brittany who says her mom asked why I'm watching a bunch of tanks. Brittany, we've all been there. We have all been there.
Just tell her it's the hit evening show live from South Texas, the Texas Tank Watchers.
I
We
love
really-
it so much.
We need like a
Flashes.
stinger. Yeah, we need like a video stinger that goes across the screen, like Texas Tank Watchers, like a wipe or something.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be nice. I'm gonna have to whip something up at some point here. Now that we have a shirt, it's gone from a goofy thing we say into a legit. we gotta make something. It's even just a goofy little 30-second thing.
I think the Texas Tank Watcher shirt is currently just a T-shirt. If you really need a hoodie or a sweatshirt, let us know. Like an 80s style hoodie with the logo on the back or something might be sort of cool. I don't know if we can get a purple hoodie though. We'll have to see. Or
I would
this
rep
dark
that.
blue. Yeah.
I don't know if you know anything about me. If it's at all hoodie weather, I like to wear a hoodie. It's comforting. It's like a nice safety blanket around your whole entire top half of your. Who doesn't like hoodies? So
This-
yeah, I would.
I think the design also has a Jack nominal level of orange in it, so it would work for a
Yes.
hoodie for you.
Yes. Yeah. The most Jack article of clothing is, of course, an orange hoodie.
I'm gonna interrupt our orange hoodie talk to point
Sure.
out I think there's been some increased condensation in and around the tank farms a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah?
say that before I got distracted thinking about my
Activity was
favorite thing ever.
on for a fair bit, and there was just a pretty significant amount.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's a good sign, and they're heading into a recycle, which would be very good. And if you are just joining us for the first time, or maybe just not curious, you don't know what we're saying when we say recycle. We just mean trying again. They have propellant. They had propellant in the form of liquid oxygen and liquid methane in vehicle in the respective tanks, and they need to be at a specific temperature, at a specific pressure for everything to go just right. So I think. Is it kind of like a moving target? Like they're aiming to hit a T0, and so they load everything in a certain way at a certain time, so that all the things are the right temperature and the right pressure and everything at the exact time they're ready to go. So
Yeah, they do kind of try and time it that way so that the propellant isn't just sitting in the tanks, especially because it's super cold.
Yep.
And they do that to keep the density where they want it. So they can't just like load it in advance and then sit there because then the propellant gets warmer. So
Exactly.
they do need to like time their loading so it works out. Yeah.
yeah, so the recycle is necessary because they're going to have to recondition the propellants to be in the appropriate, loading temperatures and the appropriate tanking temperatures. Whatever, I'm saying temperatures a lot. If that's the case. I'm basically just trying to explain. There are reasons why you can't just let it sit there with the methane and oxygen in it. They have to actually recycle the propellant in some way. So that's what we mean there.
Yeah, I thought they were going to get one of those big can crusher things, and they would just take SN5 over to the can, and they would just crush it down. You know, like with the soda cans, right? And then it's flat, so you can fit more of them into like a plastic bag when you take them to the recycle center, and you get a couple cents for every pound of aluminum you bring. That's what I thought you meant by recycle. Thank you for the clarification there.
Yeah. No worries.
Who knows what I'm talking about with the crushing the aluminum
do.
cans? Yeah,
I
that
do.
No, we
I-
got you. We got you.
was like
When
my
I was a
dad's
kid,
prized
that was-
possession.
When I was a kid, I just think like I have a flashbulb memory of my childhood. This is so stupid. Of
Yep.
my childhood, of my dad coming home from the hardware store with one of those, like me helping him and screw it onto the wall of the laundry room, and him explaining to me like one of your chores every week is going to be to crush these cans.
Crush these
Okay.
cans.
I got to stack the cans in the fridge and put the groceries away when they came in because I like to be obsessive and put the cans a very specific way. And I got to crush them.
Nice.
So yes, I'm picking up on what you're putting down with the can crusher. It's only a matter of time until they install one at Boca Chica, like a big one on the side of the high bay, and like a giant Elon mech robot can come and crush
To crush old Starship prototypes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
My dad did the exact same thing, Jack. We had it out on the workbench in the garage, and it came home. It was freshly powder coated, and he mounts it to the side of the bench. And it was such an upgrade because you used to just have to stomp on them, and you'd put it on the ground, you'd stomp on it, and you'd crush them. They took forever. And with the can crush, you just crunk, crunk. It was so cool. Funny things you remember from your childhood,
Well, I mean, also, the joys of simple mechanical advantage. What a good thing to teach a kid, right?
Yep. Absolutely. That's just, I don't know. That's just the cool thing to think of. I initially said that as a joke. It's like, oh, they're gonna crush it. It's a big aluminum can or whatever. But then you said your dad, and I was like, oh man, that's
that
cool.
is the exactly right amount of nerdy for this channel.
Yeah, that's sort of what we do around here.
So if you're just joining us, a quick status update. They made it down to within a minute. It seemed like, I'm not sure exactly at what point they aborted, but they did abort the first hop attempt, and now we're waiting to see if they will recycle for a second attempt. But there are only 35 minutes left in today's window unless they are somehow able to get a new temporary flight restriction to give them more time. But the current temporary flight restriction, which is the hazard zone that keeps the planes a safe distance from the launch site, is only in effect till 8 p.m. So that's the constraint they're working with. Time is not on SpaceX's side at the moment.
Yeah.
It looked like, I mean, it's hard to say from our view, but I swear I saw the engine barf a little bit before we saw that double vent. So, I mean, what that would mean, I say barf, I'm joking, but
Yeah. It almost looked like
as
a
part of
spin
the-
prime. It almost looked like a spin
exactly.
prime.
I mean, we could bring up the static fire video if we want and show what that looks like.
Yeah,
but-
if
but
you get
yeah,
a link, I can
as-
definitely bring it up.
As part of the startup process, it spits out some propellant. I'm not sure if it's methane or oxygen or both or what, but yeah, I'll get you a link. Stand by.
Yeah, cool.
I'm rewinding our video. If you're in chat and you want to see a replay of anything, you should be able to use the bar on your YouTube screen and rewind. So I'm doing that right now, and I'm seeing if I can see what Jack was talking about on the actual attempt we just saw.
Well, with Michael and Jack busy, I guess I'll just sit here and keep staring at these tanks in Texas. Das, I don't know about you.
Would you say that you're watching them?
I might even say I'm a Texas tank watcher currently.
Well, you should.
Although, what happens if you're a Texas tank watcher, but you're also watching from Texas? Is that like a Texas tank watcher?
It's like
How does that
Texas
work?
squared tank washer. I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
now
I mean,
we're-
the tanks
now we're
aren't
getting- now
squared
we're just getting
around,
crazy
but
now.
cylindrical, I guess. There's I actually put the link. Somebody asked for the link to that T-shirt, so I'm K-Space Academy over there in the YouTube chat. There's a link to that Texas tank watcher.
Jack
Yeah.
is totally right. You can see something come out of the engine area right before the two upper vents come on. So that would indicate they aborted like before the pre-burners on the engine fired up, or at some point during the engine ignition sequence, presumably. So probably around T0.
There's some honking going on there.
Yeah. But they got within a second, it seems, maybe less.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they got
hopefully
real
next time.
close.
Yeah.
I just threw a link in Control Center, Das. It'll be a super slow mo of the static fire that they did a
Okay.
couple days ago.
I may make
And
the
I'll throw that-
picture just a little bit larger here so we can see it a little bit better.
I'll throw the same link in chat if you want to take a look. This is the static fire they conducted ahead of today's testing, and in it you can see, and we were a little bit more zoomed in on that one because we weren't expecting the vehicle to move at all.
Yeah.
So you can see there on the underside of the vehicle, the engine, as part of the ignition process, sort of spits out right there a little bit, and then it ignites. So that's what we're thinking we saw.
Yeah, that little puff of gas out before the ignition.
Precisely.
Yeah. Let's see if I can. Right there it is. So it's
Yep.
starting right here. Like watch the base. Watch right down here is what we're looking at, and there's a puff that comes out, sort of moving downwards quickly, not sort of floating off to the side, but it almost looks like it's ejected out, right? So that is what we are talking about here in this picture-in-picture.
Yeah, and we've seen that back with Starhopper. We've seen that with SN4. That's a typical thing that we have noted in the past as part of Raptor startup process.
Yep.
So we're just lucky that we get to have these views of this test stand where we can analyze the startup of this engine in detail like that.
I'll see if I can bring that up on our actual live stream here as well, so that we can find the time. I guess I can look at the top.
Right when the ticker comes back on. I turned it on right after we noticed the abort. So if you
Okay.
find when the ticker turns on and then go back a couple more seconds until the two top vents turn on, it's right around there.
Yeah, see the two top vents. I'm just trying to see if I can find it or if we can even make it out,
For
Because
sure.
you can't link to a timestamp in a stream that's still live. Yeah.
But Jack will have a highlight video of this test at some point. I don't know if we're going to publish that tonight or tomorrow or what, but on our YouTube channel we post daily videos if you're new. So stay tuned for an update video later on. And Mary had, I think, one or two other cameras going, so we'll have some nice raw footage for you.
Yeah, and also, just because Mary is who she is and she's so relentlessly dedicated to documenting everything that goes on, Chica, being a resident there and enjoying, supporting what SpaceX does, there was a daily video today. So if you're, I don't want to send you away from the stream, but as we wait to find out what happens next, feel free to bring up that daily video in another window, take a look at that, or after tonight's test, whether it hops or not. There's even a daily video today, so if you're new, check those out. They're always super beautiful. Especially Mary's gotten into the habit of catching the sunrises in the morning. And, wow.
I think I found the right time here. You just watch underneath the vehicle right down here, and you can see the sort of ejection, I guess, that occurs. Let's unpause that and just watch right in there, right at the bottom of that vehicle, right there. It happened. You'll see that. Do it one more time.
See, but
it's I can make it bigger if we go to the other screen. I just don't want to take the main screen off, Yeah. I mean, it's just right in there when it happens. I know it's really small on the screen though. Right there.
But the point is it's visible, so it definitely looks like part of the engine startup process.
Yeah. I don't want to take the live feed away, so I'm not going to flip it around or anything like that. We'll just leave it right like this.
Yeah,
the T-shirt webpage. Let's see if I can get the T-shirt webpage again. Of course, I can get the Texas Tank Watchers T-shirt webpage. Jeez. And it looks like we may be picking up a little bit of grass venting. I'm not seeing really anything substantial.
I can hide the ticker for a second.
Yeah. Oh, I've got the clean preview up here, and I'm not seeing anything really visible over there. So that puts us under 30 minutes left in the temporary flight restriction. The closure of airspace warning aviators, people operating aircraft, to stay clear of this area due to experimental testing happening at the SpaceX Boca Chica facility here. So it's our understanding that if they're not done by 8 o'clock, and 28 minutes isn't a lot of time, that it is probably officially off for this evening. Window opens again tomorrow at 8 a.m., but we'll see.
And it looks, I mean, we're not seeing any liquid oxygen venting right now from the vehicle, that liquid oxygen vent. So that occurs when the liquid oxygen boils off and becomes gas, they vent it off. But it does appear there's no liquid oxygen in the vehicle. Would we all agree on that assessment?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, if that's the case, based on the previous timeline that we saw, was that what, like 20 or 30 minutes before we saw the liquid oxygen tank start venting? So they do seem to be running out of time if they recycle, but we haven't seen anything firm yet. So it could very well be that they are trying to extend the flight restriction. Maybe some SpaceXers on the phone with the FAA right now trying to talk them into it. We don't know, but
yeah,
it's not looking great, but there's still. I mean, what I'm saying basically is it's not looking great, but don't tune out yet because you could still potentially miss the hop. But nobody wants to miss the hop.
Right.
I feel like we missed an opportunity there. Should have been like, y'all were gonna lock in that dead air tank, and somebody should have said, "Yep, yep." Mm-hmm.
Tell you what.
I'll tell you what. We need to do an entire episode in the King of the Hill inspired Texas Tank Watcher voice.
I love King of the Hill so much. What a great show. And Mike Judge in general. What a great creator.
Mm-hmm.
Office Space. Office Space is a treasure.
Office Space is pretty great.
And Idiocracy. Ugh.
We're a little bit behind in super chats. Does somebody want to clear the old queue there? I saw a couple of really nice messages in there.
Yeah. Let's see. Judd Dredd, thank you for the new membership. Joseph, thank you for the $5. Bent Straight again. Another one of those names pops up a lot. Texas Tank Watchers actually was improv from y'all. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Uh-oh, I'm not going to get copyright struck because I said Pepperidge Farm. Am I? Judd Dredd, thank you again. Mary get a new video head. Did she get a new video head? I don't think she got we got her a fluid head, right? And that's how she's been doing those pans and stuff lately.
No, what we're on right now is a new geared head, but we haven't got a fluid head out there yet.
Okay,
Well,
copy.
actually, she ordered another tripod. I'm not actually sure what that one was, but I don't know.
Copy. And then NZ Eagle, thank you for the 20, I'm assuming New Zealand dollars. They say, thanks for the stream, guys. I love watching these streams, whether it's an episode of Texas Tank Watch. Everyone loves Texas Tank Watchers.
I'll tell you what.
It was just a goofy thing I said,
Who came
or
up
somebody
with that?
said one.
Was that you, Jack? Who gets credit?
I'm not gonna take credit for it. But
Somebody, yeah, I don't know.
Either way, it's pretty great. So they say, thanks for the stream, guys. I love watching these streams, whether it's an episode of Texas Tank Watchers or an actual launch. Thanks for the hard work you guys put in from New. Well, seriously, that's like I was saying earlier. It's the kind of messages that are really, really cool to hear, that we get to bring these sorts of things to everybody from, from around the world. So,
All over the world. Yep.
Mike Flegel, that's a cool last name. And just to be clear, if I don't say your name is cool, it doesn't mean it's not cool. I just, some names just jump out at you sometimes. You know what I mean? Like Mike Flegel, that name jumps out at me. Thanks for the $5, Mike.
It's like a Florida Eagle.
Oh, heck yeah.
Go ahead.
They say maybe they did a full press and bled it back down to the proper lower quantity they need for the 150-meter hop. Well, my friend, I don't know much about you, but I know that you are an optimist. Nova Coaster fan, thank you for the $5. They say, thanks for the great coverage. Let's light this candle. Corey Goodell, thanks for the $20. They say, thank you for all what you do. I'm a father in Montana, and this is one of the few ways I get to share my love of space with my children. Who love DOS, by the way? Who doesn't love DOS?
Oh, shucks.
I hope they also got to share the Bluebird. Excuse me if you heard that. I hope you did not. I did not have time to mute. I hope you get to share the
Blue. Clear, Jack.
Yeah,
Oh, great.
geez. It echoed. I actually played it again.
What I was going to say is that I hope you were able to share the Bluebird stream with your kids too, because I know I loved it, and I sure would have loved it if I was a kid. Bluebirds, who doesn't love animals? But that's really awesome. I'm super excited that you get to share space with your kids, because guess what? You know how they make like frankly, eye-rolly name for each generation? Like, oh, this is the Generation Digital, or Generation Y, or Q, or P, or whatever. X. Whatever generation is coming up now and right after now, that is like they're going to be coming into a world, we hope, that is dramatically different than it is today in terms of spaceflight and space travel and development of the solar system and the resources of the solar system. And hopefully it's a bright, awesome world. And so sharing space with them now, I mean, that's good schooling if you ask me. So thank you so much, Corey, for the $20. And awesome. Good parenting.
Yeah, thank you, Corey. We appreciate the kind words there. Thank you so much.
Jim Denton, thanks for the $5. Scrolling back on the videos, water deluge never acted. Could that cause abort? I don't know if that could cause abort or not, but good question, good observation. I'm assuming you're accurate. I don't know. I haven't looked.
Yeah, I think water deluge did activate. We often cannot see it from this angle because of the small berm. And my understanding is the height of the water is pretty low.
Yeah, it's much smaller than like the systems you see at Cape Canaveral or Vandenberg at the like big orbital launch complexes. The one they've got at this site now is harder to notice. You kind of have to be looking really close for it.
Did we link? Oh, wow. Okay, so we talked about Texas Tank Watcher hoodie earlier. I just threw a link in chat. There's a Texas Tank Watcher hoodie now.
Of course there's a Texas Tank Watcher hoodie.
Mark says it's the tank generation.
The Tank Watcher. It's a Tank Watcher generation.
Tank generation. Okay, that's a lot. Okay, Jim Getton, good observation there, bud, with the water deluge. Silas WG, thanks for the 99 cents, whatever. Little bites. Thanks for the $5. The pop-up should be like the lower thirds that pop up on reality channels, Texas Tank Watchers tonight, 8/7 Central, or at NASASpaceflight. Admiral Marai, thanks for the $5. I always picture a poor red shirt standing under it on a ladder with a Bic lighter. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. If you guys don't know, a red shirt is it's one of the expendable crew members in Star Trek, right? Like whenever they went down onto a planet, the person in the red shirt that was like slightly different than all the main characters' outfits, you could basically tell like, oh, they're gonna get roasted. they're gone. They're expendable. That's hilarious. Let's see. JJ, thanks for the $10. Been waiting for the Texas Tank Watchers shirt. Sweet. Y'all do a phenomenal job. Always enjoy tuning in. Thank you so much, JJ. Seriously. Dougal, another one of those names pops up a lot. Thanks for the $5.50, Dougal. How long does it take, or how long is static fire before launch? Like how many days before is it static fire, or how long is a Falcon static fire? And they do one for launch. It's two different questions. First answer, how many days before a launch? I mean, what? It's like usually a couple, right? Between 2 or 3?
Well, it depends. If we're talking about what we think the next Falcon 9 launch is, which is that Starlink that's been delayed 8 billion times, that static fire happened like weeks ago. So it really depends. Like normally it's like 3 or 4 days before a launch, I think. If they do it with the payload on board, like one of the Starlinks, they can actually do it like the day before. But yeah, it's a couple of days before usually.
And they wouldn't static fire again, right? After taking so much time, or would
Unless they had some issue that they wanted to make sure they've resolved. No, probably not. I don't think we're expecting one for the next Starlink. So.
What you guys just saw was the Tank Watcher hoodie.
I had to put the Texas Tank Watcher hoodie up on the screen. Sorry, not sorry.
It's lit. Okay, Dougal. The good question, and then how long is a nominal static fire duration? Or words, how long is a nominal Falcon 9 static fire last? Like 9 seconds or 8 seconds?
I think the longest that they've ever done was like 7 seconds. I think like some customers I think like requested longer ones than normal. So like there were some missions where I think some missions did like, I think normal is like a brief 3 or 5 second, and then a couple other customers like, actually could you fire for like 7 seconds or something like that. I think it just depends. It's not the same for every mission. Like the very first Falcon Heavy static fire was also like a little couple extra seconds longer. I think that's in my memory somewhere. So it varies. It's not always the same.
Somebody in my buddy EJ's stream asked if the Texas Tank Watcher shirt would be considered a tank top.
Yes.
If the cameras were on, we would just stare at them like, really? Really?
Hunterkins, thank you for the pie in dollar form and in message form. And Ray Stanfeld, thank you for the new membership. And Graham D, thank you for the 5 curly L. Here's some extra cash to buy more propellant for the flight. Thanks, guys. Well, thank you, Graham. Bart. I'm just going to call you Bart because I don't know how to say the first part of your name. Thank you for the €5. Start already. It's 2:36 over here, and I have to get up at 4:30. It's just a great sentence. They say there's punctuation. They say it's 2:30 here, period. Or no, they say it's 2:30 here. I have to get up at 4:30, period. And then just Belgium. Like
Belgium.
Almost like Belgium is a word of lament. Like, Belgium. And then Jacob Demler, thank you for the $3. I like Generation Astra. That's a pretty good one. By nature, I hate all of these sorts of things, but Generation Astra, I say I probably hate less. Other potential option. So, let's see. David York, $5. Nathan Smith, $5. Just bought the hoodie. Oh, dude, thank you for buying the hoodie. You're awesome for helping what we do and repping what we do. People are going to be like, what is a tank watcher? And you're going to have to explain yourself. And that I love perhaps more than even you buying a hoodie in the first place. The idea of how are you going to explain yourself to other people, which is, I fully support you. I think you're smart and you're right for watching this feed. If I dare say a brief moment of self-congratulation, but
when you explain it, you should make a game of it and give wrong answers only. Like, you didn't see that show in the 80s?
Yeah, there you go. Or ask them what they think. Yeah.
Break. We've got an update from Elon Musk. Says scrubbed for the day. A Raptor turbo pump spin start valve didn't open, triggering an automatic abort. We'll figure out why and retry tomorrow.
There you have it. There you have it.
Drat.
So our analysis there was pretty spot on. The
Yeah.
pre-burners aborted it. That's what we thought.
Yep.
Good job,
We're
Jack.
not
I
always-
think that was mostly Jack. That was
Yep.
mostly
Well,
Jack
thanks.
who saw that. So good job,
We're not
Jack.
always wildly speculating here. Sometimes we're able to use our experience and figure out what we're looking at based on what we've seen in the past. But sometimes I get it wildly incorrect. I don't take too much credit here. I just looked at things and I said things, and this time it turned out to be right.
Try to get Tom off the screen there. Right there is the tweet on the screen. Scrub for the day, a Raptor turbo pump spin start, just like we said. Responding to our very own Crispy NSF right there. So, yeah, that's a bummer to hear.
Okay, so if you're still watching, just subscribe and turn on notifications, and when we go live tomorrow,
Yeah.
you will know, and you will not miss the hop. So,
And
I mean,
and it
we're
is
not like the YouTubers who just say that for a video that can be watched anytime. This is a live stream. You have to know. If you don't know at the right time, you're gonna miss it live. So make sure you turn on notifications.
And Das says it was a bummer that it didn't go, which is true, but
But-
also it's not a bummer that it's still in one. It's not a bummer that it's still in one piece. It's
Yep.
great that it's still in one piece. Glad that it didn't kerplode. Kerploding is bad. Rutting is bad. Testing is hard. Blah blah blah. Space is hard. All that. So scrubs are fine as long as the vehicle is one piece, and they can try again tomorrow, which they can and they will, and join us for it because it's going to be awesome.
I'm gonna see if I can paraphrase Tori Bruno's saying here really quickly. You'd rather be on the ground wishing you were hopping than hopping wishing you were on the ground.
There you
This
go.
is true. Very true.
There you go.
So that's a great point there, Jack. About
All right, I don't know how you guys want to close this out, but there is a Minuteman III nuclear missile set to launch, a test launch tonight from the West Coast. And
Well, get outta here.
I'm going to go take some photos of it, and so I'm going to get prepared and head out now that this is over. I was going to ride this out, for the hop and then just rush up there, but now that we know for sure it's scrubbed for the night, I don't know. We can keep going answering questions. I don't know how you guys want to handle it, but I'm out. I love you
I think
all.
it's time. It's probably time to spool it down. It's beautiful out there, but Elon official saying that it was a tomorrow sort of thing. So the voice you were just hearing, that was Jack Byer. Jack, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Michael, can we get his information on the screen there?
Just slow, but there you
Yeah.
go.
No, it's all good, and I'll put it into chat there as well. Follow Jack on
Thanks so much.
Twitter at the Jack Byer right there. I'm K-Space Academy posting that stuff in there, and click that link I just put in chat to keep up with Jack. If he gets any shots to this missile that's launching, the test that's going, Jack, thank you so much for hanging out with us, buddy.
Yep, thanks for having me. Be excellent to each other. Love you all. Bye.
Yeah, absolutely. And then also on the call today, on this episode of Texas Tank Watchers, Thomas Berghardt. Thomas, thank you so much for joining us today. Always a
thanks,
pleasure.
guys. Yeah, thanks. It's always good to be hanging out, and hopefully we can be back tomorrow night for another hop attempt. Should be exciting. And thanks for everyone who tuned in. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and over on Twitter, you are actually TG Mets fan 98, if I'm not
That's
mistaken.
the
right?
one. Yep.
Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
updating too many things at once. I'm on it.
Yeah,
You're
it's all
Mike.
good. It's all good.
There we go.
There you go.
There you go.
Appearing up there, cool. And then we've also got, as always, we've got Michael Baylor there. Michael running some of our backstream technology in terms of our overlays and the things that appear on the super chats and the question queue and all that sort of stuff. Also a writer, also a photographer, just man of many talents for NASA Spaceflight. Michael Baylor, thank you so much for everything you do making these things possible.
No problem.
He is over on Twitter at Next Spaceflight, right there. Next Spaceflight. Put that link in chat. And never do we have these live streams without Mary. We are able to bring you this fantastic, this view, like the sunset view almost, right? We are able to bring these stunning live views, the pictures, the videos that come through. If you've been seeing any of the daily videos here on the channel, the sunrise videos she's been capturing are absolutely amazing. Those are all because Mary, Boca Chica gal, gets out there every day and takes her cameras, takes her batteries, and captures what's going on down at Boca Chica. So always, always, always put some thanks into chat for Boca Chica gal. You can find her on Twitter right there, Boca Chica gal. Mary, M-A-R-Y is her name. So there you go. Shout out to Mary. That's bench straight. That's what I like to see. Mary rocks. That's exactly right. Mary is a true soldier. Thank you, Mary. That is absolutely right. Thank you. Huge thanks to Mary. Great job, Mary. Thanks, Mary. I'm just reading thanks, Mary, over and over again. But we are able to bring you this sort of coverage, share these experiences with you, because Mary is out there pointing the plastic and glass electronic bits over at the photons that we want to turn into internet and send your. Anyways, look, I'm not a physicist, okay? But always thank you so much for Boca Chica gal Mary setting this stuff up. And then I will be shutting it down here, folks. I'm the guy who clicks the button to make the stream start and stop sometimes. My name is John Galloway. If you watch me over on Twitch, you may know me as Das of the Kerbal Space Academy. I promise you at some point we will be back to playing Kerbal Space Program. I almost booted up Kerbal Space Program while we were waiting today and built SN5 in there, but that is, I mean, off-axis thrust. We could do the physics right there in KSP. So that's my deal. I do virtual field trips. We go to museums. We go to rocket launches and all sorts of cool stuff over on my Twitch channel. But that's me on Twitter, K-Space Academy. And that will come to the end, I guess, of our Texas tank watching out from Boca Chica, Texas today. Did I miss anything else?
Just join us. I don't know if we mentioned this. I'll reiterate. The test window for tomorrow is 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. local time. So hopefully during that window, have those notifications on for our channel, and when we go live, you can tune in and hopefully see another hop attempt.
Yeah, something, we did miss a couple super chats, and I don't want to miss some of these. Derek, thank you so much at the end there. 50 Canadian, appreciate you. Joe Beach, I used to work with a guy named Joe Beach. I don't know if you were ever involved with internet startups, Joe, but if so, you may know me. Does SpaceX plan to put Raptor engines on the Falcons? That's a no. Raptor engines are engines for Starship, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Dr. Michelson, thanks for the content nerding out with my wife. That's a fantastic thing to share with the significant others there, Dr. Michelson. Thank you so much for the support. Angela Stickles, stay tuned tomorrow. Same tank time, same tank channel. I like it. I like it a lot. And then finally, Bent Straight, time to talk barbecue? As much as I would love to talk barbecue, I think I would much rather head on down to my kitchen and eat some dinner. Is going to be my plan. So we are going to be signing off from Boca Chica here. One last time, thank you so much to Mary bringing us these fantastic live feeds. That's just going to be a beautiful thing. So we'll leave you with a little bit of ambient audio. As we say later, nerds, we'll be back tomorrow when the tank farm starts to activate. We will be back here live to share it with you. But thanks everybody for joining us this evening. Come on, birds, chirp. It was supposed to be a nice outro with chirping birds, and now you're being all quiet. Gah! You can't trust any birds. It's crazy. Later, nerds.
Pressure looks good. Following up. Roger, roll, Atlantic. Water towers fly! Flight outside speed off.
Yikes. You bet. Concur. We don't need any more of these.